Chapter 1381. Chen Shang suspected that the people who were occupying this place must be the descendants left behind by those who entered this place many years ago, such as the people from the Bai Shan Yu. If that was the case, then this place did not belong to them. Therefore, Chen Shang could also go and take a look at the cliff where the beast slain method was recorded. Elder, he destroyed my mid-quality celestial sword. Han Chen wanted to continue, but the old man looked at him, making him not dare to speak. If they had been able to reach this place according to the map, then it would not be impossible for them to be a bit weaker. Over the years, they had encountered many of these people. We have been stationed here since the ancient times, so we do not allow outsiders to enter and destroy the Holy Land. Now that you, Ali, have come here, there is no way out. The old man said. Elder, if you want him to leave Samsara Valley, isn't that just courting death? Mu Chenxiang's face changed as he asked anxiously. In Chen Zhang's mind, the map immediately appeared. There was indeed a valley, and this valley would go past the place he wanted to go, which was the cliff where the beast slain method was hidden. The reincarnation gorge will pass by the place he wants to go. According to the map, he came here to go to that valley. In his eyes, those who went to the valley would all be courting death. That place was extremely dangerous, and Chen Shang could tell from the words of the old man and Mu Chenxiang that many people had died there over the years. These people have lived here for so long, they must know the Samsara Valley very well. That Samsara Valley is the only way to leave this place. Of course, over the years, many people have not been able to do so. The clan elder saw Chen Shang meditating and said, "Then I can only go that way now." Chen Shang said softly, "Since there was still a way out, then what about the jade bones in the forest outside? That person was so powerful, yet he did not choose to walk the Samsara Valley. Elder, can't we keep him here? It's not like we've never experienced something like this before." Mu Chenxiang said softly, looking at Chen Shang with extreme sympathy. "We can't, our family's resources are limited, we can't accept outsiders anymore, if not what happens to our children and grandchildren in the future?" Han Chen immediately shouted. Chen Zhang's eyes lit up. It was normal for these people to have problems with resources since they had been trapped here for so long, and he definitely could not go to the reincarnation valley to die for now. Even Dan Yanjing did not dare take that route. Chen Shang stood up, looked at the old man and smiled. "Resources are, if you let me stay in your clan for a period of time, I can provide you with some resources." "What resources do you need?" Chen Zhang's words made the old man's heart move. Although the old man had been trapped here the entire time, he still had his schemes, and if the person in front of him had a large amount of resources, then there would be room for negotiation. Rather than bringing those resources to die, it would be better to just hand them over. "One day, 10,000 spiritual crystal. We will arrange food and lodging for you. If you want to know more about the Rebirth Valley, we can also provide you with more details. This will require a few spiritual crystals as well," the old man said. Chen Shang smiled and nodded. Problems that the spiritual crystal could solve were not problems at all. Fortunately, he had gotten the 10 million spiritual crystal jade plates from Long Huishan earlier and exchanged them all. Seeing that Chen Shang agreed so readily, the old man regretted not offering a higher price. "This is 10 days' rent." Chen Shang tossed a storage bag to the old man. There were 100,000 spiritual crystal inside. If they were inside those immortal palaces, then 10,000 spiritual crystal would be able to stay in those luxurious hotels every day. "All right, you can come in now." The old man nodded, causing Han Chen, who was at the side, to grit his teeth in anger. He hated Chen Shang very much, because Chen Shang had destroyed his immortal sword and Mu Chenxiang was very concerned about Chen Shang too, which made him very unhappy. Although Han Chen already had quite a few women, Mu Chenxiang was different from the other girls. Mu Chenxiang was extremely talented, so his strength was strong and he had a body of terrifying power that was not married yet, which was even stronger than his. Furthermore, he had a surname, which was unlike any other woman's power. Chen Shang laughed as he walked into the barrier. "I wonder what senior's name is. I will be living here for a period of time, and I won't consume any of your resources. The reason I'm staying here is mainly to investigate that Samsara Valley from time to time. I am Chu Zhang, an elder of the Chu family. This year, it is my turn to inspect the perimeter of the barrier, to prevent anyone from sneaking in. As long as someone comes near our barrier, it will cause a commotion." Chu Zhang said. Chen Shang nodded, he had indeed felt a tremble earlier. Elder Chu, how many people do you have here in total? Chen Shang asked curiously. There are over 30 million people in total and they are controlled by 9 different families. My Chu, Han, and Mu clan are in charge of this area and we will send some disciples to watch over it every day. Chu Zhang said. Originally, he thought that it would only be a few tens of thousands of people, but now, he understood why outsiders would not be allowed to enter. There were a lot of people, and it was normal for there to be a shortage of resources. However, Chen Shang could bribe an elder with just 10,000 spiritual crystal. Elder, can you let him come to our Mu clan? I will be responsible for his arrangements. Mu Chenxiang looked at Chen Shang who had walked in and smiled at him. Although Chen Shang could stay here for the time being, it did not mean that he could wander around alone, so he had to send someone with strength to watch over him, making it safer for elder class people to watch over Chen Shang, but the elders were all rather busy and did not have the time to do so, while the young, who were strong, would definitely clash with Chen Shang, for example, Han Chen. Amongst the youths, Mu Chenxiang's strength could be considered relatively strong. And since she was a woman, she would definitely be able to get along well with Chen Shang. Right now, Chu Zhang did not want Chen Shang to leave so early, because he wanted more spiritual crystal. If he let Mu Chenxiang follow him, maybe he could stay for a longer time. Mu Chenxiang looked at Chu Zhang with her watery eyes. She really hoped that Chu Zhang would agree to her request, because with this, she would be able to interact with Chen Shang who came from the outside world every day. She knew a lot of things about the outside world. Chapter 1382. Alright, no problem. As for the spiritual crystal, I will give you 20%. Chu Zhang nodded. This year was Chu Yang's turn to be in charge of this area's boundary. The benefits that he had obtained were naturally all his Chu family's, and for Mu Chenxiang to be able to obtain 20%, it could also be considered not bad. Chen Shang laughed inwardly. He had already seen that the strong in this place were extremely lacking in spiritual crystal, so it wasn't hard to understand why. They could only stay in this area, it was much smaller than a continent. Chen Shang felt that as long as his bid was high enough, maybe even Mu Chenxiang would be able to buy it. Thank you elder, I will definitely settle this matter well. Mu Chenxiang's face revealed a happy smile. HMPH. Han Chen was furious, and said coldly, you have destroyed my immortal sword, so you must compensate me. Of course, Chen Shang could afford it. He had many middle-grade and high-grade immortal swords in his hands, and even some high-grade ones, of the best kind. Then, He Feng would have 2 top-grade immortal swords. But Chen Shang would never give it to him, because Han Chen was the one who made the first move back then. Why should I compensate you? You were the one who tried to kill me first. At that time, I still hadn't stepped into the spirit formation. I was only defending myself. Chen Shang said. Chen Xiang, here are 20,000 spiritual crystal. Take it back to your patriarch and properly entertain them. Chu Zhang gave Mu Chenxiang 20,000 spiritual crystal. After Mu Chenxiang received it, he asked while grinning, what's your name? I'm Mu clan's Mu Chenxiang. Chen Shang. In this kind of place, Chen Shang was not afraid of exposing his name, he replied with a smile. Han Chen saw that Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang were looking at each other and almost spat out fire. He snorted angrily and turned to fly away. Mu Chenxiang looked at Han Chen's back and snorted, ignore him. If he wants to die and attacks you, I'll help you deal with him. That's not good, you may have to marry him in the future. Quote. Mu Chenxiang was very straightforward, there was no shyness that a woman should have. She grabbed Chen Shang and said, I won't marry that guy, now you must follow me back to the Mu clan. The elder still has other things he needs to do. Miss Mu, how old are you this year? Why are you so powerful at such a young age? This doesn't make sense. Chen Shang flung Mu Chenxiang's hand away. He was a man, yet he was being pulled by a woman. It looked very outrageous. Previously, Elder Chu Zhang had said that Mu Chenxiang would soon undergo her coming-of-age ceremony and that she would be getting married at that time. However, at her age, she had a very strong strength, even more powerful than that Han Chen. She was already a immortal monarch, and Chen Shang believed that she must have had some sort of fortuitous encounter. I was born with it. How would I know? Mu Chenxiang turned his head and stuck out his tongue at Chen Shang, and laughed. In short, I am stronger than you, do not look down on me, although you are older than me. How old are your adult standards? Chen Shang asked again. This Mu Chenxiang looked to be around 18 to 19 years old. 20, I am already 20 this year. But I will have to wait a while before the 9 families can jointly hold the coming-of-age ceremony. Mu Chenxiang said. In other words, you're still a little girl. Chen Shang laughed. So what? Some old guys aren't even my match. Do you want to see how powerful I am? Mu Chenxiang rolled up his sleeves, exposing his jade-like arms. With a face full of smiles, he could tell that she was a very mischievous woman. Save it. If you injure a rich person like me, Elder Chu will certainly blame you. Chen Shang immediately revealed a very scared look. Stop pretending. For you to be able to turn Han Chen's immortal sword into a waste, you must be very powerful. Mu Chenxiang pouted and said. Originally, this place was a stone mountain, but after being remodeled, there were many trees planted here. Many stone mountains were leveled and constructed into cities and towns, and within this barrier, the immortal energy was very dense. Xiaoshang, in all these years, has anyone entered that Samsara Valley before? Chen Shang asked. You guys should know what is inside. Of course we know that there are divine arts left behind by the beast god. Humans can also learn them and understand them from them, so we can create a few more powerful divine arts. However, that place is extremely dangerous, and many of our 9 clans, experts have died over the years. Mu Chenxiang immediately replied. How about I give you some spiritual crystal S in private, and you answer some more questions for me, this way you can earn some money. Chen Shang said. Name your price. Mu Chenxiang snorted. I don't want that stuff, but I have a question to answer, and you have to answer mine. No problem. Immediately agreed. In this kind of place, it would be good to be able to save a few spiritual crystal S, but Chu Zhang probably never would have thought that Mu Chenxiang, who looked up to the outside world, would actually not care about spiritual crystal S at all. What she needed more were the novel stories outside. Now it's my turn to ask you. Mu Chenxiang said. Do you have a wife? Oh, why do you ask? Chen Shang was a little surprised. That's also a question. I'll answer it first, then you'll owe me an answer. Mu Chenxiang laughed mischievously. I am just curious, see if you can compare to that Han Chen in this area. So far, I have only one wife. Chen Shang answered honestly. Only one. Mu Chenxiang revealed a ridiculing expression. Do I need a lot of them? Chen Shang just said it out and immediately regretted it, because this was also considered a problem. You owe me another question. Mu Chenxiang giggled. You're really stupid. The more men there are, the more power he would have and his status would be even higher. For example, Han Chen, the young miss of a small family would have to pour out some medicinal ingredients to join the Han family. Chen Shang laughed. But if he can't marry you, so what? If he wants to marry some girls who don't have much power, I have as much as I want. Even if it's a pretty strong girl, it's not hard at all. Tisk, boasting. Although you look pretty good, your strength isn't that great. Mu Chenxiang said with a look of disdain. There definitely aren't many strong women, why would they all stay in your embrace? Then you're wrong. In the outside world, there are many strong women. Chen Shang said. Now, it's your turn to answer my question. Tell me who is the most famous and powerful woman outside. Mu Chenxiang's eyes lit up as he asked anxiously. Chen Shang was unable to answer that question immediately. He had interacted with quite a few female experts, such as Long Perong, Bai Sha Dan Immortal, Long Huishan and Lu Munger's mother, Song Ying. Chapter 1383. And among the heaven realm, although the number of immortal kings was the fewest, it was still only calculated compared to all the living beings in the 9 heavens, and immortal kings were not the strongest existence in the heaven realm. At that time, there were people who said that she might become a flower emperor in the future. Amongst the women, she can be considered an existence at the top. Su Meiyao said. Hundreds of Flowers Immortal Country is probably the youngest, with only 5 very, very small immortal palaces. Furthermore, all of the palace masters are women, and all of the people who are in charge of the entire immortal country are also women. This immortal country is also considered the most peaceful one among all. Bai Yuyu replied. We went there to seek refuge all those years ago. Back then, he had thought about going there to hide for a while, but he was still worried that the devil-suppressing Divine Palace, Imperial Dragon Clan and the Fire Divine Palace were too strong, so even the hundreds of Flowers Immortal Country wouldn't be able to protect him. Chen Shang answered Mu Chenxiang's questions according to what he and Bai Yuyu said. How old is the hundreds of Flowers Immortal Country then? She, a woman, is actually called the future Flower Emperor. She's really amazing. Mu Chenxiang yearned for more than anything, she also wanted to become a very strong woman. If I answer your question again, we will be even. Chen Shang laughed. He could already tell that Mu Chenxiang yearned for the outside world. The hundreds of flowers immortal country is made up of 5 immortal palaces, and the main palace is at least 300 million. Furthermore, each palace is governed by at least 1 immortal king and 10 immortal monarchs, and these immortal king immortal monarchs all follow the orders of the future flower emperor. Of course, this is the minimum number. Chen Shang said. What a formidable woman. I really want to go to the hundreds of flowers immortal country to take a look. I wonder if she will accept me. Mu Chenxiang gazed into the distance, as if he was looking into the distance. With your innate talent, as long as you are willing to work hard, it might not be impossible for you to become a girl like the flower emperor in the future. Chen Shang laughed. Go ask around at the Mu clan. We're going to enter the city soon. Mu Chenxiang said vigilantly. Obviously the things she wanted to ask about needed to be kept a secret. Even though the buildings were simple, they were arranged in a very neat manner. The main street was covered with flat stone bricks, and on both sides of the street were trees. Moreover, there was a clear river in the city, and from time to time, boats would pass by. Among them, ordinary people were the most common. Although this world was isolated from the outside world, it was still operating in a very orderly manner. For mortals, resources were not lacking, because they could support themselves by raising poultry. Although this was the heaven realm, this kind of ordinary scene was very common in those immortal palaces. There was a carriage outside the town, and Mu Chenxiang led Chen Shang into the carriage. Then, the 2 spirit stallions dragged the carriage, and headed towards the inside of the town. Elder brother Shen, you should stay here for a while longer. Can you wait until I'm an adult before leaving? Mu Chenxiang sat opposite to Chen Shang and looked at him with a pitiful expression. Previously, she had looked very strong, but now, she had turned into a spoiled little girl. I only need to stay for 1 day to earn 10,000 spiritual crystal. How long is it until the coming of age ceremony? Chen Shang said. There are still 40 days. Mu Chenxiang lowered her head and sighed softly. This was 400,000 spiritual crystal. Although she did not care about the spiritual crystal, she knew that it was a huge amount, especially for the place that the spiritual crystal was lacking in. 400,000 spiritual crystal was nothing to Chen Shang. He was just about to agree to it, but Mu Chenxiang suddenly raised his head and said in a low voice, Elder brother Shen, I can give you some good things. You can give them to the elders and then you will definitely be able to stay here for the long term. You shouldn't be in a hurry to go to that Samsara valley right now, right? Chen Zhang's heart skipped a beat, and he asked, what is that thing? Mu Chenxiang did not reply, but instead sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang, 1 immortal fruit. Previously, Chen Shang knew that this Mu Chenxiang definitely had some sort of fortuitous encounter, otherwise she wouldn't have been able to become an immortal monarch at such a young age. Don't tell anyone. In this place, there is no importance attached to women at all. We women have very little resources when we cultivate, so if it wasn't for me displaying my shocking talent, I would be like other girls and serve a hateful guy like Han Chen. Mu Chenxiang whispered to Chen Shang. Xiao Shang, if I find a way out, are you willing to follow me out? Chen Shang asked. Of course I'm willing. As long as you can bring me out of here, I can promise you anything. After Mu Chenxiang finished speaking, his face flushed red as he added, that kind of thing is not going to work. What's wrong? Chen Shang pretended not to know and joked. HMPH, stop pretending. You must know. Mu Chenxiang angrily stomped her feet, and her face turned even redder. Chen Shang giggled, then asked her via sound transmission, what is that immortal fruit? Can you tell me how it looks like? It's fiery red, and it looks like a little bird. Mu Chenxiang thought and replied. Chen Shang immediately told Su Meiyao this. Su Meiyao said in shock. That's a phoenix fruit, that isn't from the immortal grade, but the holy level, and is at the same level as the holy level's dragon medicine. Good God, that's worthy of being the sacred beast's ancient realm's sacred ground, otherwise there wouldn't be such a thing. Then there might even be other holy fruits, and they were not just these, because he discovered that there was no aura of fire on Mu Chenxiang's body. It seemed like she did not gain strength by eating the phoenix fruit, so she definitely had eaten some other things. I'll take you back first, and let my Mu clan's patriarch know about your temporary stay here. After that, I'll bring you to find that holy fruit, and when we get back to my place, you must behave a little better, and try your best to make those old fellows happy, so that you won't be troubled by some nice guys in my Mu clan. Mu Chenxiang transmitted. Chen Shang nodded his head. In order to make those old fellows happy, he had to use some spiritual crystal essence pills. This was indeed beneficial for his activities here. Right now, he had already planned to let Mu Chenxiang lead him to search for some sacred fruit and immortal fruits first before going to investigate the Samsara Valley. Xiao Shang, what kind of status do your parents have in the Mu clan? Chen Shang asked. My father was the grandson of the family head, and my mother was my father's 17th woman. Because I accidentally offended some women who had a higher status than her, and because she was very beautiful and was envied by others, she was killed in the dark. But my father didn't care and didn't go investigate. Mu Chenxiang seemed to have already seen through it, but she was helpless. It could be seen that she had been through a lot since she was young. Chapter 1384. Mu Chenxiang was considered an anomaly here, because she was a woman. With such a rare resource, she was able to give him a strong power at a young age, so even if she was in Mu clan, she had a certain privilege. Seeing Mu Chenxiang's carriage drive over, the doors of Mu clan's mansion immediately opened. Mu Chenxiang could stop the carriage and directly enter her residence. Lil Shang, looks like you're doing quite well. Chen Shang laughed. Of course, if I want my family to value me, then I must become an irreplaceable person. Right now, I am the pillar of the young generation of Mu clan. I have fought quite a few times for those old fellows, and from the looks of it, there is no one in this Mu clan who can replace me. Mu Chenxiang said proudly. Even if you don't want to marry, the elders of your Mu clan will not say anything. Of course, and I can marry whoever I want. If I don't want to marry, then I won't marry. No one can interfere. Ever since Mu Chenxiang gained the power of the immortal monarch, she had not worried about this matter. Get off the car and come with me to meet those old guys. I've helped them get a rich man, they'll definitely be very happy. Mu Chenxiang pulled Chen Shang and got off the carriage. She wanted to quickly settle this issue so that she could bring Chen Shang to a rather secretive place. Then, she could continue to learn about the matters of the outside world from Chen Shang. Followed Mu Chenxiang and walked quickly for a while before arriving in front of a small stone hut. Third elder, something good has come knocking. Hurry up and bring the other elders over. Mu Chenxiang shouted from outside. The wooden door of the stone house slowly opened, revealing a short old man. However, Chen Shang did not dare underestimate him, because this short old man was the immortal king. Wild girl, you've finally become enlightened. Do you know that you're going to get married? The old man looked at Chen Shang and laughed. This brat is called Han Chen, right? I remember that he doesn't look like that. After not seeing him for 2 years, he has changed so much. Chen Shang was extremely speechless. Third elder, what's with your gaze? He isn't that annoying Han Chen. His name is Chen Shang, he ran in from the outside. Mu Chenxiang said snappily. The short old man widened his half-opened eyes a little. Didn't you say that you can't come in from the outside? You wild girl, aren't you being too reckless? I remember that you were supposed to be in charge of that area with Chu Zhang, and you sneaked him in. You have to hide him well, and don't let Chu Zhang know about it. Mu Chenxiang sighed and looked at Chen Shang helplessly. Using his eyes, he told Chen Shang that this old man was just like that. Chu Zhang charged him a temporary fee of 10,000 spiritual crystal per day. After that, I told Chu Zhang to give this kid to me as my guard, and he gave us 2 levels of the Mu clan. Here are 20,000 spiritual crystal. Mu Chenxiang handed the storage bag over to the short old man. I will take care of his food and accommodation. I will take care of him and he has to pay a temporary fee of 10 days. 20,000 spiritual crystal, I have not seen so many of them in a long time. Wild lass, you sure have great abilities, to be able to get a decent job from Chu Zhang. The short elder looked at the spiritual crystal and laughed. Alright, take him to play around. I'll talk to the other elders later. The short old man walked out of the stone room and transformed into a white figure that disappeared very quickly. Mu Chenxiang anxiously pulled Chen Shang and ran back to his own house. Xiao Shang, you actually call me brat, you are much younger than me. Chen Shang said. Mu Chenxiang's house was located in a bamboo forest and was extremely quiet. There were 2 rooms and a small hall, and Mu Chenxiang was currently packing a room that no one had lived in for a long time. How about I sleep in the same room with you so you don't have to pack up? Chen Shang sat at the side and laughed. No, I have to train tonight, you will disturb me. Mu Chenxiang originally wanted to refuse, but after she said this, she thought for a moment and then said, all right, I will sleep in the same room, but it is not the same bed. Originally, Chen Xiang was only joking around. She did not expect Mu Chenxiang to actually agree. She was not tidying up the room, and was instead bringing the empty bed to her room, then putting on a clean, soft and fragrant bedding. The two beds were snuggled together, making Chen Xiang feel that sleeping with her wasn't too different from before. In his eyes, Mu Chenxiang didn't seem to think of him as a woman, even though she had a lovely face. "Wild girl, bring that guest to see the chief tomorrow morning. The chief will be back tonight." Chen Xiang and Mu Chenxiang heard the voice, but the voice came from afar. It was the short old man from just now. Mu Chenxiang sighed, looked at Chen Xiang who was sitting on the bedside. "Are you hungry? Do you want to eat something?" Chen Xiang shook his head. "No need, I just want to take a bath now, then have a good sleep. The bathroom is over there. There's a well outside. Get some water and boil it yourself. There's a bath in there. Do you need me to teach you how to wash?" Mu Chenxiang pointed to a corner in the large room, which was separated by a screen and a curtain. "I gave you 10,000 spiritual crystal. If it was in the outside world, I could at least enjoy 2 maids helping me scrub my back. Now, I even need to get some water to boil my own." Chen Xiang purposely revealed a disappointed expression. Just as he was about to walk out, she snorted and stepped in front of him. Not long after, Chen Xiang was bathing in the hot bath, but Mu Chenxiang did not come in to help him wash it, which made him feel a little regretful. After Chen Xiang finished washing up, he wore a simple set of pajamas and pounced toward the soft bed. He laid on top of it with his eyes closed, let out a long sigh, and had a face full of enjoyment. "I'm sleeping, don't disturb me." After Chen Xiang said this, he closed his eyes. Chen Xiang was indeed sleeping, but he had slept for a short while before Long Shui woke him up. "Little scoundrel, wake up quickly. That wild girl has already taken a bath, and didn't even use a bath, she was only washing herself. Little pervert, did you peek at her while she was bathing?" Chen Xiang woke up. Although his eyes were still closed, he could still hear Mu Chenxiang humming a little tune and the sound of water splashing in the bathroom. The thing that moved Chen Xiang the most was that waves of intoxicating fragrance from the flower. The fragrance on Mu Chenxiang's body was also very special. It turned out that she would use some strange flowers to scrub them when she was bathing. The bathroom only had a screen, but Chen Xiang was a very obedient person, so he did not use the heaven tour to look at other people's baths like how Long Shui did. Chen Xiang cleared his mind and wanted to continue sleeping, but suddenly he heard Long Shui shout, "She's out, she's not wearing any clothes." Chapter 1385. After Chen Xiang heard this, he secretly cursed Long Shui in his heart. If she had not woken him up, he would have just woken up. "She's just drying herself by the bed. Open your eyes and look. Don't waste it," Long Shui urged. Mu Chenxiang thought that Chen Xiang had gone to sleep, so she did not mind at all. "Her figure isn't bad. If she's really the tallest, I can give her 9 points. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang had already sealed off his 5 senses, and did not continue to listen to Long Shui's words, and quickly fell asleep. "What's wrong with this little scoundrel? He doesn't look like him." Su Meiyao laughed tenderly. "He actually didn't peek. This wild girl is indeed not bad. I really feel pity for this little scoundrel, and miss such a good opportunity." Mu Chenxiang had already put on his clothes and was wearing loose pajamas on the bed beside Chen Xiang. "Elder brother Shen, wake up." Mu Chenxiang lied down on her side and shouted at Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang couldn't hear them, he had already sealed his sense of hearing. Mu Chenxiang called out a few times, but seeing that Chen Xiang did not make any movements, he climbed onto Chen Zhang's bed and pushed his way through Chen Zhang's body. Chen Xiang suddenly woke up from his stupor and looked at him with a big grin. Mu Chenxiang had a head of long hair that hung down to her chest. She wore clothes that were extremely broad at the chest, revealing her beautiful collarbone. This kind of spirit lying on his bed caused Chen Zhang's heart to thump. "Didn't I say not to disturb my sleep?" It was already dark outside and the sound of insects could be heard. Inside the house was also very cool, but Mu Chenxiang saw that Chen Xiang had been woken up by her, and did not feel any guilt at all. Instead, her face was full of happiness as she laid beside Chen Xiang. "I can't sleep. I'm very excited right now, so I can't calm down and cultivate." After Mu Chenxiang laid down, he also pulled Chen Xiang who was sitting up down and placed him beside himself. was somewhat unable to endure Mu Chenxiang's enthusiasm, especially when his arm was hugged and he touched Mu Chenxiang's soft and fragrant peaks through a thin layer of clothes. Lil Shang, you're not young anymore. You should know that men and women shouldn't be intimate with each other. Aren't you afraid that I'll do something to you while you're in the same bed as me? Chen Shang calmed the restlessness in his heart. No, because I'm stronger than you, it won't be that easy for you to harm me. With your current strength, you cannot bully me. I can only bully you. Mu Chenxiang chuckled. Mu Chenxiang held Chen Zhang's arm and said softly, can you tell me what the outside world is like? I asked the elders and the others, and that's all they have to say. All right, actually, I just ascended to Heaven Realm, so I don't know much about Heaven Realm. Chen Shang then recounted some of the things he knew and told them in stories, causing Mu Chenxiang to be extremely interested in hearing them. He was mainly talking about some very mysterious things, such as the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, and then talking about the stories of the great powers outside. Although she did not sleep that night, Chen Shang was still very energetic. There was no need to mention Mu Chenxiang. After knowing how wonderful the outside world was, she became even more excited, and wished to immediately fly out. Go see my great-grandfather. He's the clan leader here, and he often goes out to hunt some powerful monsters for his clansmen to eat. Everyone uses this method to increase their strength. Mu Chenxiang entered the bathroom and changed into a purple cheongsam behind the screen, giving her a dignified and noble temperament. On one hand, it was to welcome the return of the patriarch, and on the other hand, it was to look at the foreigner that Mu Chenxiang had brought over. Mu Chenxiang brought Chen Shang and walked into the great hall that had a few hundred people standing around. It immediately made Chen Shang feel a little pressured, because many people were looking at him. He saw that the people here were all in groups, and most of the women were in groups. Mu Chenxiang had previously said that the men here could marry many women, and now that the patriarch had returned, they had to all come out. There were quite a few boys and girls as well, and compared to Mu Chenxiang, the strength of those youths at Mu Chenxiang's age was indeed very far apart. No wonder Mu Chenxiang had such huge privileges, and when she walked in, she did not even bother to look at the people on both sides of the hall. Her entire body was exuding an oppressing aura of arrogance as she walked into the hall and stood behind the few elders. After everyone had arrived, a robust middle-aged man with a mix of black and white hair suddenly appeared at the entrance of the hall. When Chen Shang saw him, the middle-aged man disappeared, and then reappeared on the big chair at the head of the hall. Very strong. Chen Shang was overwhelmed with shock. He never thought that the patriarch of the Mu clan would actually have the power to surpass the Immortal King. At this time, everyone in Mu clan bowed to greet the patriarch. Nothing big happened to our Mu clan, right? The patriarch swept his sharp eyes across the crowd, causing them all to feel a chill in their hearts. Chief, the little girl brought back an outsider. You should have heard about this. The short old man said. The patriarch of the Mu clan immediately looked at Mu Chenxiang. He nodded at him, and could tell that he valued Mu Chenxiang greatly, then shifted his gaze back to Chen Shang. I heard that he is temporarily staying at our place, and after that, he will investigate the Samsara Valley. In the future, he will enter the Samsara Valley. The patriarch of the Mu clan said. They were actually going to the Samsara Valley, and when Mu Chenxiang brought Chen Shang in, everyone felt that Chen Zhang's strength was not very high, like many of the other youths in the clan. He was only at the intermediate stage of the worldly immortal stage, and Mu Chenxiang was even stronger than him. However, everyone heard that he rubbed away Han Chen's middle-grade immortal sword like he was rubbing mud. Great-grandfather, you are the one who understands Samsara Valley the best out of the 9 clans. Elder brother Shen continues to know some things about the situation, and he even brought a great gift. Mu Chenxiang pushed Chen Shang away and pushed him out of the room. She had greeted Chen Shang earlier and told him to prepare some gifts for him. The patriarch of the Mu clan shook his head. I have been to the Samsara Valley twice, but have never found anything, and almost died inside. I do not understand much about it. I only know of the dangers inside, and I can let him look through some of our ancient books. They mentioned about it. Chen Shang took out a jade box and said, Boy Chen Shang, because you have obtained a map, you have to come here. I know that the Samsara Valley is very dangerous, so I plan to stay here for a long time. Chen Shang gave the jade box to Mu Chenxiang, and had him bring it over to the patriarch of the Mu clan. You are too polite. You have already given the Chu family 10,000 spiritual crystal a day, and our Mu clan can also get 2 levels, so the faster people who come are the customers. If it were not for the rule that was made many years ago, you would not be stopped outside the barrier today. The patriarch of the Mu clan said while smiling. As he spoke, he opened the jade box and saw a fruit filled with immortal energy. He was stunned. Although he had grown up in this sealed-off place, he still recognized the fruit. The patriarch of the Mu clan took a deep breath and said, "Longevity fruit." Chapter 1386. There were also immortal fruits like longevity fruit as here, but that had already become history. Now, even the fruit trees no longer existed, and most of the people here had heard of them. Even in the past when they had longevity fruit were still very precious, so Chen Zhang's courtesy was very precious to them. It could help those who were about to run out of oil to obtain new life, and if they could break through, it would also help their family gain another strong warrior. Originally, Chen Shang had only planned to take out a few Hunyuan Dan, but seeing that this patriarch was so powerful and was so courteous, he immediately changed his mind and decided to take out the longevity fruit. This way, he would be absolutely safe in the future by staying here. "Great-grandfather, just accept it," Mu Chenxiang said. The patriarch looked at Mu Chenxiang, his stern and dignified face revealing a smile. "You wild girl, don't bully others. Take good care of this guest who came from afar," the patriarch of the Mu clan said meaningfully. "Got it," Mu Chenxiang laughed as he walked to Chen Zhang's side. "Wait a moment, bring him to the academy. Go there and flip through the ancient books." The patriarch of the Mu clan put away the longevity fruit, and then said to the people, "This time when I went out, my harvest was considered bountiful, but if you want to get more beast meat, then you all must display your strength well. Let me see how much you have improved. Second elder, give the wild girl 10,000 caddies of beast meat and let her properly entertain the guests." 10,000 caddies of beast meat made many people in the audience extremely jealous. This was enough for a long time, and could increase a lot of power, especially the dozen or so women that were Mu Chenxiang's father, who looked at Mu Chenxiang with sinister eyes. They hated Mu Chenxiang to the bones because he was originally living in the same courtyard as them. Mu Chenxiang's mother was killed because of that group of women. Mu Chenxiang knew clearly in his heart that they had wanted to kill her initially, but they did not succeed. At this time, the women were worried that Mu Chenxiang would take revenge. Mu Chenxiang happily went to collect the 10,000 kilograms of beast meat, and then left the hall with Chen Shang. As for the others, if they wanted to pick up the beast meat, they would have to display their strength in front of the patriarch. The clan head was very concerned about the progress of the disciples within the clan. Every time he came back from hunting, he would do the same thing. Moreover, he had a very good memory, so he could remember what level these people were at the last time. Mu Chenxiang was naturally the one who got the most beast meat every single time, and this time, he got even more because of Chen Shang. Mu Chenxiang brought Chen Shang back into the bamboo forest and sat next to a roasting furnace. They took out a large piece of beast meat and started cutting it into pieces. "Hurry up and start a fire, I'll grill some meat for you to eat." Mu Chenxiang laughed and said, "I only got 500 kilograms last time, I didn't expect I could get this much this time, I can eat enough at once." She seemed to have forgotten that this beast meat was used to entertain Chen Shang. Chen Shang realized that this Mu Chenxiang was also a big eater, just like Long Shuiyi. If she was together with Long Shuiyi, maybe every time she ate, it would be an extremely intense eating and drinking competition. "How often does your great-grandfather go out to hunt?" Chen Shang asked, and also helped cut the beast meat. He realized that the quality of the beast meat was actually very good. He came back this time to rest for a few days and then went out again, probably 3 months later. There's no helping it, he lacks resources, so he can only go hunting for those giant beasts, but there are a lot of them. Great-grandfather said that it should be enough to kill for hundreds of thousands of years. Mu Chenxiang skillfully took the pieces of beast meat and placed it on the metal trident, but Chen Shang had not lit a fire yet. Chen Shang took out some charcoal made from high-grade wood and threw it into the furnace. Afterwards, he released the heaven flame from his palm and made the charcoal burn. "You know how to set fire to people, that's great," Mu Chenxiang said excitedly. "I don't know how to use fire." Chen Shang looked at the meat carefully and asked, "What kind of beast is this? The quality is very good." "Not only is it not bad, this is much better than the meat of the small gold eagle, it contains a large amount of immortal elemental energy, remember to roast my portion," Long Shuiyi said. "Xiao Shang, can I go hunting with your great-grandfather?" Chen Shang asked. "Are you sure you want to go?" My great-grandfather told me to go last time, but I had other things to do, so I refused. If you want to go, I'll go with you. Mu Chenxiang laughed. My great-grandfather wishes for me to become the strongest huntress in the entire 9 nations in the future. Chen Shang took out some seasonings and made it into a few small bowls. Then, she used a brush to brush them on top of the roast meat, making people drool while she roasted them. When Mu Chenxiang saw this, she also did the same thing. I'll bring you to the academy after you've eaten your fill. I didn't expect you to be such a treasure. You can make the roast meat taste so good. Mu Chenxiang laughed happily. Elder brother Shen, is your wife as beautiful as me? As Mu Chenxiang ate the roast meat, her jade face became oily. When she ate, she was as fast and crazy as Long Shui. She's much prettier than you. Chen Shang slightly smiled, maybe she's just as powerful as you right now. Furthermore, she knows how to refine formations. After Mu Chenxiang heard this, he was shocked because she did not know how to refine or set up an array. She's so amazing. You can't use fire, you can't learn it. Chen Shang laughed. I won't do it now, but that doesn't mean I won't do it in the future. Mu Chenxiang was obviously very confident that he could use fire. If you really can go out, I wish you could go to Hundreds of Flowers' Immortal country and stay there with him. Although it's not to learn refining formations, you can still learn her skills. I heard that up until now, she still hasn't found a good candidate to pass on her absolute arts. Chen Shang said, this was what Su Meiyao had told him. We'll talk about it after we get out. Over the years, the experts from the 9 clans wanted to get out, but they were unable to do so. Furthermore, quite a few experts died. Mu Chenxiang sighed. Chen Shang really wanted to bring this wild girl, who had a special talent, out. If nothing unexpected happened, she would definitely become a strong female in the future, maybe it would make the heaven realm even more lively. Chen Shang roasted a lot of meat, and the majority of it was for Long Shui to eat. He himself also ate a lot, and after eating it, he accumulated a large amount of immortal qi in his body, and with a little refining, he could turn it into pure and rich innate qi. Chapter 1387. Both Long Shui and Mu Chenxiang had a huge appetite, and in an instant, they had eaten several hundred kilograms of beast meat. Fortunately, Chen Shang had hidden it well, and he did not find out that he had secretly brought away some of the beast meat for Long Shui to eat. I've eaten my fill. I should go to the academy to take a look. There are many ancient books there, but there aren't many records about the Samsara Valley. I should be able to finish them soon. Mu Chenxiang licked his lips and took a sip of the sweet fruit wine. Chen Shang was not in a hurry to go to the Samsara Valley. The Mu clan's academy was a small house with 6 to 7 large rooms and shelves filled with books. Once Mu Chenxiang arrived, he immediately asked an old man. The old man seemed to already know that there would be people reading the ancient books about the Samsara Valley. He immediately brought Chen Shang into a study room and took out a book that was made from a thin layer of beast skin. Fortunately, Chen Shang could understand these ancient characters. When he was in the 10 heavenly sacred mountain previously, after fusing with the stone tablets, he was able to learn these ancient characters. You can actually understand it. There are many ancient characters here that I don't recognize. The old man in charge of supervising the academy said. Yes. Chen Shang nodded his head, and then quickly flipped through the pages of the ancient book, searching for something useful. This ancient book was not really thick, only dozens of pages. Chen Shang finished flipping through it very quickly, and not many things were recorded in it. Most of them were recorded from many years ago, including who and where they went to the Samsara Valley, and in the end, they did not return. However, those who could still live after entering the Samsara Valley did not even enter the depths. They did not even reach the valley where the beast-slain method was located. After a mysterious force stopped them at the entrance of the valley, they immediately retreated. However, just as they were about to leave the valley, they were pulled back by another wave of energy, and then they were met with all sorts of violent attacks. In an instant, their bodies were injured, and they had to use all of their strength to escape. Most of those who were unable to escape must have died inside. This was also the reason why they didn't return after entering. Anything else? Chen Shang asked. Nope, it's just this book. The Samsara Valley has been here for many years, and all those who went in were recorded on it. Most of the people that did not come back are powerful warriors. The old man said. Chen Shang was very disappointed, and sighed helplessly. That is something that cannot be helped. To be honest, not to mention you, even if our chief goes to that place, he will be courting death. The old man shook his head. That's the only way out of here, Mu Chenxiang said in a low voice. How could she not know that it was impossible to safely enter the Samsara Valley and leave the place after? I also know that there is a valley in the middle of Samsara Valley. Once we enter that valley, we will be able to see the beast slain method, but we cannot go there. The old man said, young man, you will stay here for the rest of your life. There will definitely be a way. It's just that you guys are too stupid. You haven't thought that sometimes you won't be able to solve a problem just by relying on brute force. You need to rely on your brains instead. Seeing the disappointment on Chen Zhang's face, Mu Chenxiang immediately said to the old man, then pulled Chen Shang out of the academy. Elder brother Shen, you have plenty of time. Mu Chenxiang comforted him. When your spiritual crystal is not enough, tell me, I will do my best to help you, so that you can stay here for a long time. While raising your strength, think of a way to leave this place. Chen Shang revealed a smile. The more impossible things are for others to accomplish, the more I want to challenge them. This is a situation that I often encounter. Mu Chenxiang still did not know what kind of person Chen Shang was now. If there was a day she could leave this place and go to Heaven Realm, she would understand what Chen Shang was trying to say. Chen Shang had done many things that others would think they would not be able to do. Seeing Chen Zhang smile, Mu Chenxiang was also very happy. Let me bring you over to play, I'll familiarize myself with this place first. There was a beauty sleeping and eating with him. This made Chen Shang feel comfortable, but he would not lose the strong desire to leave this place in the midst of enjoying it. On the contrary, he wanted to bring this wild girl who was dreaming about the wonderful world outside with him. Chen Shang giving the patriarch a longevity fruit, this matter caused a huge stir in the 9 clans. Regretted it greatly now, he did not expect Chen Shang to be a tycoon. Now, everyone knew that Chen Shang was in Mu clan, and he was even accompanied by that famous wild girl from Mu clan. However, people from other families all thought that Chen Shang, that longevity fruit, was equivalent to a betrothal gift. Moreover, they never thought that women would be so valuable. Although Mu Chenxiang was a young immortal monarch, from their point of view, he still had a low status. From the looks of it, he was a young immortal monarch. Mu Chenxiang brought Chen Shang out for a stroll for a long time, and after hearing some gossip, he could only smile indifferently. Was very generous, buying a huge pile of pills whenever he saw something he could eat. He let Chen Shang eat a lot. Of course, most of the ingredients were for her and Long Shui. In the evening, Mu Chenxiang and Chen Shang returned to the quiet bamboo forest and sat next to the barbecue outside their house, ready to eat a beast meat feast. I am only worth a longevity fruit. HMPH, I had to put in a lot of effort to train myself. Mu Chenxiang mocked himself. Hee, if you don't want to marry, then even 1,000 longevity fruit can't do anything to you, you wild girl. Chen Shang chuckled. If I were to marry you, the betrothal gift would definitely not only be that of a longevity fruit, it would really be too unfair for you. How many would that be? Mu Chenxiang asked with great interest. Chen Shang rubbed his chin, frowned and thought for a while, then said seriously, at least I need 2 longevity fruit. He deserves a beating. Mu Chenxiang was originally full of anticipation for a good answer, but didn't expect Chen Shang to actually be joking. Chen Shang caught hold of her jade fists that were smashing towards him and said with a laugh, if I wanted to marry you, I would not give you a single longevity fruit, because at that time, I would already have gotten you out of here. Even if you take me out, I won't marry you. Mu Chenxiang scoffed. A multicolored ray of light suddenly flashed across the dusky sky, and a gigantic multicolored ball of light streaked across the skies above the Mu clan's mansion, giving off a scorching aura. At this moment, everyone on the ground felt a wave of heat attack them. What's this? Chen Shang raised his head and looked at the 7-colored ball of light that was slowly moving across the sky. Does this often appear in your place? When Mu Chenxiang saw the 7-colored ball of light, his expression became extremely serious. This thing is big trouble. Chapter 1388. That beautiful 7-colored ball of light, no matter how you looked at it, didn't seem like it could bring about misfortune to anyone. However, in Mu Chenxiang's mouth, it was a calamity. Do they appear often? Chen Shang asked. Of course not. If we were to appear often, we wouldn't be able to survive. Mu Chenxiang quickly finished the barbecue. Suddenly, an urgent bell chime sounded. Mu Chenxiang stood up and said, this is the bell chime for the entire clan to assemble. What kind of disaster will the bane bring to us? Chen Shang asked curiously. This thing will appear once every few thousand or even 10,000 years and will sometimes be safe, but sometimes it will bring about all kinds of disasters. This thing will appear once every few thousand or even 10,000 years and sometimes be safe, but sometimes it will bring about all kinds of disasters, and once it will fall into the ground, it will explode and release all kinds of terrifying powers. Mu Chenxiang walked quickly, with Chen Shang following behind her. He asked, "This can't be a coincidence, after all these years, there must have been someone deliberately bringing them in." "I don't know. No one knows where this thing came from." Since Mu Chenxiang was young, she had heard a lot about this colorful jinx, so her expression was currently very solemn. "This means that every time they appear, many people will die." Chen Shang felt that this matter must have some sort of secret behind it. He suspected that someone was actually trying to destroy the 9 clan that was guarding this place. If it really was made by man, then this person must be very powerful. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to condense such a thing and send it here from a faraway place. Whether it is the 9 clans or the other commoners, all of them will be affected by the calamity. That kind of power is extremely terrifying, and right now, colorful jinx has only just appeared. Legend has it that after it appears, a natural disaster will occur within the next 7 days and 7 nights. Chen Shang followed Mu Chenxiang to a large plaza of the Mu clan's courtyard. Everyone here had as serious an expression as Mu Chenxiang. "Shui Yi, do you know where that thing landed? Do you have any leads?" Chen Shang asked. After the colorful jinx appeared, Long Shui immediately used the heaven tour to follow. "It hasn't descended yet. This thing is very strange. It actually circled around the spirit formation and it seemed to be gathering its power." Long Shui said, "This colorful jinx is outside the barrier, he should be from very far away. I can't see what kind of energy is condensed inside, but the thing outside is definitely the rainbow sky fire. Right now, it is circling around this huge sacred ground, absorbing a large amount of immortal energy to strengthen itself." At this time, the sky had already darkened and from time to time, a rainbow light would flash across the sky. Colorful jinx mischievously flew randomly in the air. The patriarch of Mu clan, Mu Tianyu, stood on a stage in the plaza and said loudly, "Everyone should have known about this since young, so I won't say too much. Furthermore, we have done the related training every once in a while, and now, we will do the training. The people below Immortal Monarch should go into the depths to take refuge first." Very quickly, a large group of people walked out from the plaza, leaving behind a few hundred people with the strength of Immortal Monarch. Mu Chenxiang was a Immortal Monarch, so she was also here. Only now did Chen Shang realize that Mu Chenxiang was the only female in the Immortal Monarch, and it could be seen that female experts were very rare in this place. "Chenxiang, take Chen Shang to another place to seek refuge. The more than 10 outstanding disciples are all at that place. You should know where it is." Mu Tianyu said. But do you really not need my help here? My strength should be able to withstand some of the power of the natural disaster." Mu Chenxiang asked softly. She also wanted to contribute a bit. "No need, take him to that place to seek shelter as soon as possible." Mu Tianyu's voice became strict. Mu Chenxiang did not dare to say more. He dragged Chen Shang along as if they were flying and ran towards the back door of the Mu clan, entering a gigantic stone mountain. "The colorful jinx has landed. It's huge, as big as a city, and is pretty close to here. Should we go take a look?" Long Shui asked. "What if that thing explodes? Wouldn't that be courting death?" Chen Shang said. He never thought that the moment he came to this place, he would be met with such misfortune, one that was rarely seen in 10,000 years. "You won't die easily. The profound WU diamond armor on you should be able to protect you." Long Shui replied. "If it's not possible, I can use some of my power to help you withstand it." If he wasn't confident, Long Shui wouldn't have sent Chen Shang to die, and for Long Shui to send him there, it was obvious that she was very curious about the colorful jinx. Chen Shang, who was being pulled away by Mu Chenxiang, suddenly stopped, and pulled Mu Chenxiang over to his side. "What are you doing?" Mu Chenxiang frowned. "The colorful jinx landed on the ground, and has not exploded yet. They are obviously gathering their power. I want to go and take a look." Chen Shang said. "You knew that the colorful jinx had landed?" Mu Chenxiang's face was filled with suspicions, but she still said resolutely, "You cannot go. If you go near that thing, you will die. There are records in the ancient books that someone once tried to get near to the colorful jinx to destroy it, but if you go near it, you would mysteriously die. That colorful jinx has a very powerful devouring force. As long as you get near it, no matter how strong you are, your entire body's power will be devoured. But you're not afraid, your power is in that mysterious dantian of yours, it's very hard to devour it. Long Shui said. I'm not afraid, I need to go take a look. You go take refuge there first. Chen Shang said as she released Mu Chenxiang's hands. Stepping on the shrinking step, she traveled through space and in a few moments she was already gone. This speed caused Mu Chenxiang to be extremely surprised. Even if she wanted to chase after him, she did not know where he had gone to. This brat, don't die. Mu Chenxiang scolded, she was angry in her heart. Chen Shang actually did not listen to her and went to do such a foolish thing. Mu Chenxiang was helpless, he could only run to the place of refuge. The closer he got to that place, the more familiar Chen Shang felt that power. Wasn't this the aura of my super strong robbery power that I tried to kill several times when I was at the Nirvana Doom? Chen Shang said in shock. But this kind of robbery power is extremely terrifying, people with Nirvana Doom definitely cannot trigger it. Shui Yi, do you know what's going on? Chen Shang asked. This seems to be a scattered immortal tribulation. If it's really like this, who knows how many people this guy killed? Long Shui Yi seemed to have thought of something, and shouted, wait a moment, quickly enter the rainbow-colored tribulation cloud and take the robbery power holy core away. Chapter 1389. Chen Shang had already seen the seven-colored ball of light. It was as tall as a huge mountain and extremely huge. From afar, it looked as if it was formed, and released waves after waves of bright, seven-colored light. The waves of the terrifying robbery power made it hard for people to breathe. When Chen Shang saw this seven-colored ball of light, he couldn't help but think of retreating. He felt that if this seven-colored ball of light just one hit him, it would be able to blast him into pieces. What's with the scattered immortal calamity? Chen Shang braced himself, endured the intense feeling of fear, and continued to rush towards the rainbow ball of light. This thing is not some calamity fiend, it's a bunch of calamity clouds, mainly aimed at people like the scattered immortal. Long Shui said, scattered immortal formed a heaven pellet at the same time as failing the ninth nirvana tribulation. His soul and strength were all inside the heaven pellet, and then he used the heaven pellet to absorb the spirit energy of the heaven and earth to rebuild his body. Isn't Yan Zilan the same as well? Chen Shang thought about the elegant and noble Zilan immortal fairy. However, her soul is very special, she can gather energy, she can use her soul to cultivate for 10,000 years, then reconstruct her body, cultivate the heavenly pill once more, and then mysteriously become an immortal. Therefore, she cannot be considered a scattered immortal, and situations like that rarely occur to her. The situation in scattered immortal is also very rare, but it is much more than the situation with Yan Zilan. Long Shui said, after the 9 nirvana tribulations fail, the heaven pellet condensed at the same time meant that he did not die. As long as he succeeded in reconstructing his body, he would become a scattered immortal. Scattered immortal is very scary, especially the tribulations that they encounter every so often. It is said that there are a total of 49 of these tribulations, and every time they cross this tribulation, they would gain a lot of strength. If they fail, they would die, and the robbery power would increase again and again. However, this fellow seems to be experiencing at least 30 tribulations. He hid here to cultivate, causing the 9 clans to suffer. After Chen Shang digested all of these things, he said in shock, then how strong is this guy? He's very, very strong. The Bai Shan Yu probably isn't his match. The 3 tribulations of the scattered immortal is equivalent to the late period of human immortal, the 6 tribulations are equivalent to the late stage of the immortal monarch and the 9 tribulations are equivalent to the late stage of the immortal king, think about it yourself. Long Shui said. No wonder every time he appears, he would cause a large group of people to die. This guy is truly guilty. Chen Shang was extremely surprised. The 9 tribulations of the scattered immortal was equivalent to a late-stage immortal king, and these 30 tribulations had already far surpassed the level of a late-stage immortal king. What if the scattered immortal is able to overcome the 79 tribulations? Chen Shang asked again. Then I can directly become a saint. Very powerful, Long Shui said. Previously, Chen Shang had heard from the white tiger that there was some holy demon beast, who was a powerful existence which far surpassed the immortal king. What realm after the immortal king was, even the immortal kings did not know, only knowing that the immortal king still had a long way to go before they could enter the holy palace. So this guy is a human. Chen Shang slowly approached the rainbow-colored tribulation cloud. He wanted to go in and take the robbery power holy core inside away. Of course it's a human. The demons in the scattered immortal form are even fewer than humans, and it's not a seven-colored tribulation. Long Shui sighed somewhat sorrowfully. In the future, I will also face this kind of annoying tribulation. You too. Chen Shang had thought that the Imperial Dragon Clan's Emperor Dragon would be able to grow to its peak without any calamity. Of course, when our Imperial Dragon Clan grows up to a certain stage, he will face the Heavenly Dragon Tribulation, and only after crossing it will he become a Heavenly Dragon. For example, the current Imperial Dragon Clan has never crossed the Heavenly Dragon Tribulation, otherwise he would be even more powerful. Long Shui disdainfully said. Seeing that guy's cowardly look, he does not have the guts to try. He planned to boil a sky dragon. In any case, he is considered relatively strong in the heaven realm. Don't look at how easy it was in front of me, I'll have to work hard at the later stages, especially when I'm transforming into a heavenly dragon. It's as hard as becoming a scattered immortal tribulation, there are many times a heavenly dragon tribulation. Long Shui muttered. From the looks of it, she hated the sky dragon tribulation. Chen Shang released his profound WU diamond armor and entered the rainbow-colored tribulation cloud. On normal days, it would look like a ball, but when he got closer, he realized that it was indeed just clouds and mist. What's the use of the robbery power holy core? Using a spatial travel, Chen Shang arrived at the center of the space. He had already seen a fist-sized, rainbow-colored bead. The rainbow saint force is inside. Although it's only a little bit, it's enough to increase your strength by a lot, and it's also enough to give you a good foundation for entering the saint realm in the future. Furthermore, this piece is so big, it should have been condensed with immortal energy for a long time. Long Shui said. Back then, some ancestral dragons often did this as well, and often followed a few scattered immortals. When they encountered the tribulation in the scattered immortal, they would steal their colorful sacred core and give it to a few small dragons to use. Of course, this is very dangerous. Your luck is good. Many of the colorful sacred core that went to scattered immortal were fighting for it, fighting to the death, and during the battle, all of them died, so the one that does not get affected will be the, which is better than Nirvana Doom. Long Shui said. Chen Shang grabbed onto the colorful sacred core, only feeling that it was a little warm. After he picked it up, he immediately placed it inside his Yuyao ring. Shui, how about I give it to you? It's not much use to me, you keep it. Long Shui was secretly moved. Even the ancestral dragon from back then thought of this as a treasure, but Chen Shang wanted to give it to her to use. Hurry, let's go find that wild girl. I've already used my divine soul to follow her. The tribulation cloud that has its colorful sacred core harvested will still need some time to condense. Long Shui said. Chen Shang quickly distanced himself from the seven-colored tribulation cloud, and at the same time, heaved a sigh of relief. Following Long Shui's guidance, he went to find the place where he had hidden Mu Chenxiang. Now that the colorful sacred core has been taken away, even if it has been newly condensed, it would still be very small, probably the size of a grain of rice. As a result, the robbery power is very weak. Long Shui said. How about I go back and squat on the side? Maybe if he fails, I can go pick up something. Chen Shang said. Don't go, he can survive until around 30 cycles, his strength is extremely terrifying, and the second time colorful sacred core's robbery power is very easy for him. Long Shui said. Right now, I do not know if that guy is good stuff, but from the looks of it, he is hiding here to harm people, he is probably not a good person. Chen Shang felt that this place was becoming more and more unfathomable. To think that there would actually be such a powerful fellow hiding in this place, he had ran for more than 6 hours and finally arrived at the bottom of a huge mountain. There was a stone door in this place, and Mu Chenxiang and a few Mu clan geniuses were hiding inside. Chapter 1390. Chen Shang forcefully pushed at the stone door, but was unable to open. Chen Shang forcefully pushed at the stone door, but was unable to open. It seems like it's impossible to enter using a normal method. Chen Shang could only use the power of the spatial laws to pass through the stone door. The stone door was very thick and Chen Shang was almost unable to pass through it. He was now inside the door, it was a pitch-black tunnel, he released his divine power to check ahead and quickly knew that he had reached the bottom. The rocks on this mountain are very sturdy, and there is even a formation. It seems like those people were really afraid of the scattered immortals' tribulation. In order to protect some good seedlings, they would not hesitate to build such a place of refuge. Long Shui said. The divine power that Chen Shang and Chen Shang had released to investigate was suddenly blocked by a powerful force. It seems like there's a layer of spirit formation inside. The protection is very thorough. Long Shui said. The place to seek refuge was deep under the mountain in the middle of the mountain. When Chen Shang arrived at the center of the mountain, he saw a vertical hole leading downwards into the depths. Chen Shang jumped down, and in a moment he was at the bottom, and there was some light, shining through from the cracks of a stone door. They are inside. There are quite a few of them. It seems that this is the joint establishment of the 9 clans. Long Shui said. Chen Shang walked to the door and easily pushed it open. He immediately saw the huge underground room, which was filled with warm rays of light, and a few tents at the side of the underground room. There were also some people walking around or chatting in groups of 3 or 5. The moment the door was pushed open, everyone inside looked over and saw an unfamiliar face. Elder Brother Shen, Mu Chenxiang shouted in shock. Originally, no one recognized Chen Shang, but hearing Mu Chenxiang's shout, they immediately understood that he was the outsider, and even gifted the Mu clan patriarch a longevity fruit. Although he was temporarily staying here to prepare to enter the Samsara Valley, everyone thought that he would probably stay here forever, because it was impossible for him to leave the Samsara Valley. Mu Chenxiang was very curious as to why Chen Shang would come here. Previously, Chen Shang had said that he would go and take a look at the colorful jinx, but he didn't expect him to return so quickly. She did not ask anything, because there were a lot of people here. The young elite disciples of the 9 clans were all here, and including some important young elders, there were also several hundred people. Mu Chenxiang said in a low voice, "That guy is also here, ignore him, follow me." Chen Shang had already seen Han Chen, and Han Chen was staring at him angrily. His strength and talent could also be considered to be at the top, and was only slightly inferior to Mu Chenxiang's, but before this, many people thought that Mu Chenxiang would very likely marry him after he matured. Mu Chenxiang was worried that Chen Shang would clash with him, and immediately pulled him towards his own tent. "Ah Chen, this is the guy that destroyed your celestial sword. Do you want us to help you get it back?" A tall young man walked over and patted Han Chen's shoulder. "It's just that he's relatively rich. Who knows, maybe he rubbed the immortal sword away from you because he had some sort of treasure. Seeing that he casually took out the longevity fruit he should be able to give you a middle-grade immortal sword as compensation." They were all Han Chen's friends. "Let's go." Seeing Mu Chenxiang holding onto Chen Zhang's hand, Han Chen's eyes turned red, his heart was filled with an indescribable rage. Chen Shang squeezed Mu Chenxiang's hand with a bit of pressure, then looked towards the approaching Han Chen. "It's up to you, this is your territory, it's not good for an outsider like me to do anything here." When the young elders of the Han family saw this, they did not stop them, because when Chen Shang came here, the only benefits were the Mu clan and the Chu family. Those experts were all outside preparing to deal with the 7-colored tribulation cloud's robbery power, and the strongest in this place were only the young elders. The late-stage immortal monarch did not even have a single immortal king. "Han Chen, are you targeting him?" Mu Chenxiang immediately stood in front of Chen Shang with a stern expression. "He destroyed my celestial sword, you should know that I want him to compensate me." Han Chen looked at Chen Shang viciously. He had already forgotten that he was the first one to make a move and Chen Shang had merely counterattacked. "You attacked him first. You attacked him for no reason at all. You were the one who brought harm to the immortal sword," Mu Chenxiang said coldly. Some of the spectators had already surrounded them. They also wanted to see how Chen Shang had actually destroyed that person's immortal sword. Han Chen did not dare to provoke Mu Chenxiang, since Mu Chenxiang's strength was at least on his level. Even he and the dozen or so helpers behind him were not her match. "You want to stand behind a woman? Don't you have the dignity a man should have? If you have the guts, then stand up and don't hide behind a woman." Han Chen purposely said it out loud, trying to embarrass Chen Shang, because this was indeed a very embarrassing thing. However, Chen Shang was born with thick skin. Even if the number of spectators increased by 10 to 100 times, he would still not feel any pressure. Everyone originally thought that Chen Shang would immediately stand up, but who knew that he actually had a thick smile on his face. "If it's only a verbal exchange, I'll accompany you at any time, but if you want to fight, then I'm sorry, I can't beat you guys by myself. I solemnly declare here that I will never compensate you for that immortal sword." Han Chen was enraged, and shouted, "Coward, quickly come out." Chen Shang shook his head. "I gave them a protection fee. The Chu family took my 80,000 spiritual crystal and the Mu clan took 20,000. They all promised me that they wouldn't be troubled here." Mu Chenxiang immediately said. "That's right, his cultivation is not as high as yours, you just have to let people fight with you, aren't you clearly picking on him? I'm currently an immortal monarch, if you dare touch him, then don't blame me for being impolite. If you have the guts, come at me. You are a woman, if you were a man, even if you were an immortal king, I would still fight you to the death. Han Chen sneered. Xiao Shang, get out of the way. Chen Shang suddenly sighed, causing him to be secretly happy. Mu Chenxiang frowned, he was unwilling, but he still stood at the side. Chen Shang took out a immortal sword. It was a middle-grade sword, and much better than the one that Han Chen had. You should have done that long ago. Han Chen's heart became excited, he could tell that the middle-grade immortal sword in Chen Zhang's hand was much better than his, he felt that he had earned a lot more. Just as Han Chen walked over and extended his hand to receive it, Chen Shang suddenly groaned. One hand grabbed onto the sword tip, while the other grabbed onto the sword hilt, using all his strength to break it. Hearing the loud and clear cracking sound, everyone was stunned. They previously did not believe that Chen Zhang's strength could destroy a mid-grade immortal sword, but they had never expected that they would see it with their own eyes, and that mid-grade immortal sword was even better. Han Chen's face froze, his entire person frozen in place, and he even extended his hand out to catch it. Chen Shang laughed coldly. I've said it before, I will never compensate you. Even if I had it, I wouldn't give it to you. Even if I were to dispose of it as garbage, I won't return it to you. Chapter 1391. On one hand, he was surprised that Chen Shang had destroyed such a good immortal sword. On the other hand, he was surprised at Chen Zhang's strength, so much so that he did not reveal a single bit of innate qi, and directly broke a good quality middle-grade immortal sword, which meant that Chen Shang was very strong, at least not as weak as he appeared to be. At the moment, Han Chen was only a few points of anger, the muscles on his face were twitching, and his fists were clenching tightly. Back then, you almost killed me with that sword strike of yours. After that, not only did you not apologize to me, you even rationally ordered me to return that intermediate grade immortal sword of yours. Dream on. Chen Zhang's voice was cold, he casually threw away the two halves of the middle-grade immortal sword, as though he was throwing away trash. In his eyes, middle-grade immortal swords were trash to begin with. He had quite a few divine weapons, so of course he wouldn't be interested in this sort of trash. However, in this place where resources were scarce, it was extremely precious. At the same time, they were also shocked by Chen Zhang's rich and imposing manner. Bastard! Han Chen roared, his fist fiercely punching out. In an instant lightning flashed and thunder roared, the violent lightning on his fist flickered. In that moment, Mu Chenxiang also shouted in shock, but she was too late to stop it. She did not expect Han Chen to release such a powerful attack the moment he appeared. When everyone saw Han Chen's punch, it brought out tens of thick bolts of lightning, causing them to immediately dodge far away. This was because this was the Han family's very famous Thunder Brilliance Fist. In the instant when everyone dodged, they also saw a terrifying bolt of lightning charge towards Han Chen's fist. Chen Shang also made his move, he had been prepared for it. The moment Han Chen punched, all the innate qi in his body immediately activated, condensing into lightning energy with the fastest speed possible and gushing out from his fist. Chen Zhang's fist did not only contain the berserk thunder and lightning energy, he also had the power of his fleshly body brought about by the body of heavenly sage. Boom, 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 the two fists clashed, and a burst of strong light and a few arrays of rumbling sounds exploded outwards. Chen Shang and that Han Chen were both blown away. It was just that Han Chen was sent flying, and when he landed, he rolled over 30 meters away, but Chen Shang just stood there steadily. The light ray disappeared, and everyone used their stinging eyes to look at Han Chen, who had an ugly expression on his face. The hand Han Chen struck out earlier was trembling. It was full of cracks and had been burnt black by the strong lightning. The Chen Shang, who had already entered the intermediate stage of the worldly immortal stage, would even dare to fight with his life on the line against the immortal monarch, not to mention the Han Chen of the late period of human immortal. This is the second time you've tried to kill me. Chen Zhang's face turned gloomy, everyone could feel his dense killing intent. At the same time, the young elders of the Han family all surrounded Han Chen, preventing him from killing them. Just a moment ago, he was hiding behind Mu Chenxiang and said that he couldn't beat her. But who knew that he would heavily injure Han Chen the moment he attacked? Han Chen had actually used the thunder power, but Han Chen had actually been defeated by the thunder power that she was so proud of. Chen Shang did not have any deep grudges with the Han family, it was just that Han Chen had a conflict with him, so he would not be so ruthless to kill him, if not Han Chen would have already died. Mu Chenxiang pulled Chen Shang into the tent. She also didn't want to have any greater conflicts here, as it wouldn't benefit anyone, let alone the current situation. Scoundrel, you've been hiding your strength so deeply. Mu Chenxiang looked at Chen Shang reproachfully. I was worried to death just now, I didn't expect you to be so powerful. One punch was all it took to beat Han Chen up to the point that his temper disappeared. HMPH, I thought you weren't that powerful and I wasn't on guard against you at all, but now that I think about it, thought about the matter of him sleeping on the same bed as Chen Shang previously. At first, she thought that she had absolute strength to suppress Chen Shang and wouldn't let him do whatever he wanted. But now that she thought about it again, her heart couldn't help but tremble, because she now knew that Chen Shang was very strong as well, and wasn't as easy to deal with as she had imagined. Do I look like a bad person? Chen Shang chuckled, if I had been up to no good with you, you would have. Seeing Chen Zhang's evil smile, Mu Chenxiang pinched Chen Zhang's arm. No matter how you look at it, he doesn't look like a good person. When he thought about how Chen Shang broke the middle-grade immortal sword, Mu Chenxiang was also extremely angry in his heart. You are such a waste. You destroyed such a good immortal sword just to anger Han Chen. Isn't it just a broken immortal sword? Chen Shang said in disdain. Elder brother Shen, tell me honestly, were you a disciple of a super great power in the 9 days outside? Mu Chenxiang asked, because Chen Shang was very generous, and did not even put the middle-grade immortal sword in his eyes. A mid-grade immortal sword was still very precious, even a prince like Yifeng would not waste such a precious treasure. No, let me be honest with you, I am actually a leader of a great power. Chen Shang said seriously. I don't believe that, if you were a leader, you would at least be an immortal king, but you don't have the strength of an immortal king. Mu Chenxiang stuck out his tongue. All you know is to lie to me. Chen Shang said with a serious face, in the future, when you go out and ask for my name, you will know how powerful I am. I have many enemies outside, you must not tell anyone that you are very familiar with me, otherwise it will be very dangerous. Really? Seeing Chen Zhang's serious face, Mu Chenxiang started to believe him. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. Oh yeah, did you see that colorful jinx? Mu Chenxiang asked again. Previously, when Chen Shang suddenly ran away, he was to see the colorful jinx. I see him, but I'm back. It looks like I have to leave this place quickly, someone from colorful jinx brought him here on purpose, and that guy is very strong. Chen Shang said in a serious tone. How did you know? Over the years, many experts of the 9 clans didn't understand. You actually knew that after this matter, you must tell my great-grandfather. Mu Chenxiang said. Of course, I need to go into seclusion to cultivate for a period of time. That colorful jinx will need a period of time to explode, so you can help me protect me from here. Chen Shang took out the colorful sacred core, and held it in his hand. Mu Chenxiang sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. Elder brother Shen, after this matter is over, I will bring you to a place where there are immortal fruits that can help you become stronger. Don't worry, I will definitely bring you out. I feel that the outside world cannot lack a wild girl like you. Chen Shang laughed. He had already known that Mu Chenxiang had a fortuitous encounter, if not she would not have progressed so fast. It won't be destroyed by the colorful jinx, right? Chen Shang was a little worried. No, that place is very safe. After the 7-colored tribulation passes, I will take out some immortal fruits for my great-grandfather to leave with you. My great-grandfather will agree. As Mu Chenxiang said till here, she felt a little sad. This was something she had been hesitant about all this while. Don't worry, sooner or later, you will be able to reunite with him. As long as you can become an expert. Chen Shang said. He knew that it would be difficult for Mu Chenxiang to make this decision. I can definitely do it. Mu Chenxiang was very confident. Go cultivate then, I'll stay by your side. Mu Chenxiang saw a rainbow pearl in Chen Zhang's hands that looked very similar to the colorful jinx, but she didn't ask. She suspected that it was an energy stone dropped by the colorful jinx, similar to the spiritual crystal. Activated his cultivation technique and quickly absorbed the energy inside the colorful sacred core. Although the colorful sacred core was small, the energy it contained was extremely vast. The moment Chen Shang activated his divine arts, he immediately felt a large amount of 7-colored energy entering his body. Very quickly, it turned into a 7-colored innate qi, entering into his dantian and into the five-beast statue. What's going on with this seven-colored innate chi? Chen Xiang was very surprised, but it did not affect him at all. Don't worry, the seven colors will slowly merge together. Colorful sacred core must be very powerful. Long Shui said. Yes, there is a lot of energy inside. Originally, it was only the size of a grain of rice, but after refining it, once it enters the dantian, it immediately becomes the size of a watermelon. Chen Xiang said. This way, the amount he could absorb was huge, allowing him to quickly strengthen his heaven pellet. After more than 10 days, Chen Xiang was awoken by a burst of violent trembling, while Mu Chenxiang sat at the side with a solemn face. It has begun. It used to be within 7 days. Who would have thought that it would only start after the 16th day? Mu Chenxiang sighed helplessly. I think a lot of my superiors will die. If Chen Xiang had not taken away the colorful sacred core, it would have happened within 7 days. There are quite a few people here. It should be packed, Long Shui said. Chen Xiang walked out of the tent and saw that quite a few tents had been set up. There were even some that were extremely huge and luxurious. Come in quickly, don't go out and cause trouble. Mu Chenxiang pulled Chen Xiang back, and her finger arts told her that Chen Xiang was very good at causing trouble. Who are these people that came in here? Chen Xiang asked. Some of the wives and children of big figures would try their best to make their favorite wives and children hide here. As for my father, he has only brought in 8 women, and the others are probably the ones he's tired of and will probably die on. Mu Chenxiang said. How is your training progressing? Mu Chenxiang asked. Nothing much, it's only been 10 days, what effect can it have? Chen Xiang shook his head and laughed. He looked at the colorful sacred core in his hand, but it did not lose any luster at all. If it's me, then it's effective. Mu Chenxiang smiled proudly. My cultivation is very fast, and also very stable. Was also very curious about Mu Chenxiang's cultivation method. It was all other people's secret, and normally they would avoid other people from getting hot, but Chen Xiang felt that he was very familiar with Mu Chenxiang, so he was not worried, and directly asked, how do you cultivate, is it only you? Chapter 1392. Seeing Chen Xiang being so concerned, Mu Chenxiang laughed. Elder brother Shen, right now you are in urgent need of increasing your strength, you are already very strong yourself. With my current strength, I'm nothing in this world. Your great-grandfather is very powerful, able to kill me with a single palm. Chen Xiang had many enemies in the outside world. If he could improve his cultivation here, then when he leaves this place in the future, he won't feel so much pressure outside. My cultivation method is only suitable, but, Mu Chenxiang said, then sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang. Wait until I bring you to that place, maybe you'll be able to train a little faster inside. What the hell is that place? Chen Xiang was extremely curious, because Mu Chenxiang was extremely mysterious. Whenever he brought up this matter, he would send a sound transmission to prevent anyone from finding out. At that time, I was only a little over 10 years old. I realized that place was only a few years old, and could make me into an immortal monarch. At that time, I will take you there to find out. Mu Chenxiang patted Chen Zhang's head. Then what about Han Chen? Chen Xiang asked. He had been cultivating for the past 10 days, so he was not clear about what was happening outside. What can he do? He doesn't dare to come again. Without absolute strength, he doesn't have the courage to act arrogantly in front of you. His brain isn't damaged. Mu Chenxiang chuckled. Your attack is quite heavy, let the Han family use up a lot of precious medicine to help him recover his arm. This is also called heavy. If it was outside, I would have killed this guy who came to cause trouble for me all day long. Chen Xiang snorted, he was no joke now. Although the colorful sacred core was taken away by Chen Xiang, the robbery power that was released from the newly formed colorful sacred core was not weak either. Judging from this level of activity, it was very likely that a lot of the higher-ups would die. This was also a last resort. 3 days had passed, and the atmosphere had calmed down. Those who were here received the notice and were allowed to go up now. Chen Xiang and Mu Chenxiang were at the very front. After they flew through the tunnel, they realized that the huge mountain they had been standing on was no longer there. So powerful, Chen Xiang exclaimed in his heart. Originally, this place was surrounded by huge stone mountains, but now it had become a flat ground with steam rising from it. Back to our town. Seeing how the place he grew up in turned out to be like this, Mu Chenxiang's heart couldn't help but feel a little heavy. At the same time, it also caused her to be extremely worried for her great-grandfather. Very quickly, Mu Chenxiang and Chen Shang arrived at the town where the Mu clan was. However, this place was no longer the same, only a stretch of ruins. This place was only swept up by the heat wave emitted by the powerful seven-colored heavenly fire and has become like this. I wonder how the heart of the seven-colored tribulation cloud is like. Long Shui said. Is there not a single survivor? Mu Chenxiang ran into a town full of ruins. There were only a few rocks that were resistant to heat that remained, most of the other things had turned to dust in the heat wave. There's someone over there. Let's go take a look. Using his divine power, Chen Shang detected auras in a relatively large stone hut. Mu Chenxiang anxiously followed Chen Shang, and when they arrived at the side of the stone hut, they saw an old man with a head full of messy hair lying on the ground, his lower half of his body being pressed down by a huge boulder. Great-grandfather, Mu Chenxiang anxiously shouted, but Chen Shang had already sent the huge boulder flying. When Mu Chenxiang floated Mu Tianyu, his aura was very weak, and with a single glance, one could tell that he had suffered from a very serious internal injury. I don't know who did it, but his 7 souls and 6 souls are heavily injured and it's very difficult to save them. This is at least someone on the same level as him, and that's why he was able to cause such an injury. Chen Shang said, this was what Long Shui had told him. Mu Tianyu was the patriarch of the Mu clan. He had lived for many years and his strength was very strong as well, so at this moment he had not completely died, but he was holding on to his breath. He opened his eyes and saw Mu Chenxiang here. Mu Chenxiang was very strong, but her eyes were already moist. Great-grandfather, you're so amazing, you can definitely endure it. Mu Tianyu's aura became weaker and weaker. He said in a low voice, the storage bag in my hands have something that I left for you. Leave this place quickly. Who is it? Mu Chenxiang immediately shouted out in anger. The other 5 clans, including an elder of our Mu clan, in short, leave quickly. Otherwise, if they come to find me, even you will die. Who will avenge me in the future? Mu Tianyu was very excited, he forced out a breath of air and spoke loudly. Take the 5 clans, great-grandfather, you must tell me. Mu Chenxiang held Mu Tianyu's hand tightly. She had lost all her tears, and felt endless hatred and anger afterwards. Except Mu, Zhao, Ji, and Li, Mu Tianyu used up all his remaining strength and closed his eyes. His body immediately became extremely stiff and then slowly shriveled up, before finally turning into a cloud of smoke and dissipated. Someone's coming. Chen Shang immediately grabbed Mu Chenxiang and quickly left the place. Chen Shang brought Mu Chenxiang to the edge of the barrier and only these places were not destroyed. Currently, in this sacred ground, there were heavy casualties. Previously, Chen Shang had planned to inform the patriarchs of the 9 clans about the scattered immortals' calamity after coming out of the cave, but he was afraid that things were not going well. Chen Shang guessed that Mu Tianyu definitely had something that those people wanted to take care of in their hands, or maybe Mu Tianyu was threatening them in some way, which made it hard for them to be at ease. Inside a cave, Mu Chenxiang sat on the ground, holding her knees as she stared blankly at the fire. Her face was filled with grief, and her pair of beautiful eyes were a little red and swollen. Xiao Shang, I hope you'll forgive me. Chen Shang sighed, and handed over a piece of roasted beast meat to Mu Chenxiang. Great-grandfather is the person who treats me the best. Mu Chenxiang took the piece of beast meat and took a big bite. I must avenge him. I will definitely take revenge for this, but not now. Chen Shang comforted her. What you need to do now is to adjust your mood and not let yourself fall into the endless abyss of hatred. Otherwise, that way, you'll live your entire life in hatred, and your great-grandfather definitely wouldn't want to see you like this. Mu Chenxiang swallowed the meat in his mouth and nodded. I know what to do now, I don't have the strength to take revenge yet. Even if you have the ability, you won't be able to take revenge. Suddenly, a voice came out from outside the cave, causing Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang to stand up immediately. Who are you? Chen Shang shouted. Chapter 1393. Someone to thank. Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang both looked outside the cave, but then they trembled all over, because unknowingly, that person had already entered. Furthermore, he was sitting next to the fire, eating the beast meat that Chen Shang had roasted. He was a middle-aged man with a small mustache and wrinkles at the corners of his eyes. However, his squinty smile made him look kind. He wore a clean set of white clothes and his figure looked somewhat emaciated. However, he looked very healthy and lively. He sat there eating the roast meat and said with a smile, "This meat is really delicious, even though I don't need to eat this kind of food to increase my strength." How can you be like this? You haven't even gotten the approval of others and you're still eating randomly. Mu Chenxiang frowned. The meat was originally roasted for her to eat. Chen Xiang tugged at Mu Chenxiang because the person in front of him was very frightening and was not someone Mu Chenxiang and him could deal with. This guy is a scattered immortal, you should know who he is by now. Long Shui reminded Chen Xiang. You just said that you have to thank me. What are you thanking me for? Chen Xiang asked. You should know who I am now, right? I never thought that in this era there would be someone who knows that colorful sacred core can be taken away, so you should also know that I'm a scattered immortal. The middle-aged man smiled. My surname is Duan, and I'm Duan Ming. Chen Xiang said in a heavy voice, after all these years, many people have died under your scattered immortals' tribulation, don't you feel a bit guilty? Mu Chenxiang started to understand. The guy who was casually eating other people was the one who had attracted the seven-colored sky disaster. I couldn't help it. I was sealed in this place, and in order to escape, I had to increase my strength. In the past, there wasn't a single person above this place. Duan Ming sighed helplessly. Nonsense, our 9 clans have been in this place since ancient times. Mu Chenxiang immediately retorted. Since ancient times, do you 9 clans know what kind of place this is? Your so-called 9 clans are merely descendants inherited from a group of people who mistakenly entered this place and were unable to leave it. Duan Ming said amiably. I came here earlier than you. This is a restricted area of the sacred beast's ancient realm, it is not a sacred place. Although Mu Chenxiang was very unhappy with this Duan Ming was very strong, much stronger than her great-grandfather. Then can you take us out? Mu Chenxiang asked, but she hoped that this guy would bring her to take revenge the most. No, I can only go out by myself. I can't even bring half a person with me, or else I'll only harm myself and others. Duan Ming said. Then why did you say you were grateful to my elder brother Shen just now? Mu Chenxiang said. Little girl, I said I can't take you out, and I also didn't say I can't help you out. Duan Ming laughed heartily. I am grateful to others, and of course I did not say it out loud. He is equivalent to saving half of my life. Chen Xiang said. I won't leave this place until I obtain the beast slain method. Duan Ming nodded his head. So you are not a person from here, you came from the outside, that is your goal, your strength is not strong, but you are able to reach here, not bad huh? The beast slain method is the sacred art from the cliff in the Samsara Valley. Mu Chenxiang asked. Yes, Chen Xiang and Duan Ming answered at the same time. Honestly speaking, even with my current strength, I am unable to enter the Samsara Valley to see the beast slain method. Back then, several powerful holy beasts joined hands to lay a barrier and sealed it, making it difficult to break through. Duan Ming said. Initially, that was also my purpose for coming here, but my luck was bad. I met a very powerful guy, and was sealed here by him. After several tens of thousands of years, and after the seal had loosened a bit, I was able to escape. You can really help us get out. Is it safe? Mu Chenxiang asked anxiously. It's still safe, but you'll have to endure a little pain. Duan Ming looked at Chen Xiang and said, however, this little brother still needs to go find that beast slain method, my method can only be used once every 1,000 years. I'll convince him, you don't have to worry about that. Mu Chenxiang was very confident. Alright, I'll go and prepare. We'll meet here in a month. Duan Ming took another 2 pieces of roasted meat, and then, under Mu Chenxiang's gaze, he ran out of the cave. This fellow is really, Mu Chenxiang scoffed. He deserves to have been sealed for hundreds of thousands of years, he's not courteous in the slightest. Of course Chen Xiang was happy to be able to get out safely. It was just that he had not obtained the beast slain method. Elder brother Shen, don't worry about the beast slain method. I have it, tonight I will bring you to that place. Mu Chenxiang sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang. You do. Chen Xiang looked at her in disbelief. Yes. Mu Chenxiang nodded. Then why didn't you tell me earlier? Didn't you know that I went to the Samsara Valley for the sake of the beast slain method? Chen Xiang pinched Mu Chenxiang's face. I just want you to stay here for a few more days. If you can accompany me until the coming of age ceremony, of course I want to leave with you as soon as possible. However, I also want to accompany my great-grandfather. Mu Chenxiang thought of Mu Tianyu and his expression became sad. As the reason why you are able to improve so fast is because you are learning beast slain method. Chen Xiang was becoming more and more curious about the place. There was actually a beast slain method inside. Of course not. I had fused with a very strange stone, and only later did I find out that it was a heavenly dan. My current cultivation was only trying to stimulate the power inside the heavenly pill, and the power inside the heavenly pill is very strange. As long as it is activated by me, not only will it allow me to obtain a very strong power, it will also strengthen my body. Mu Chenxiang said. At night, Mu Chenxiang and Chen Shang left the cave. Under Mu Chenxiang's guidance, Chen Shang stepped on the shrinking step and used the power of space, running wildly in the forbidden grounds of Sacred Beast's ancient realm. This forbidden area was extremely large. When the seven-colored tribulation cloud erupted, although many places were destroyed, there were still many places that could be preserved. Chen Shang brought Mu Chenxiang and ran madly for 3 hours before they arrived at an area with many huge rocks. This place seems to have been severely damaged. Is that place still there? Chen Shang looked around carefully. This place had also been affected by the robbery power. Mu Chenxiang took out a jade pendant and said, "Don't be afraid, that place isn't connected to this place." The jade pendant in her hand suddenly lit up and shot out a ray of red light into the air. A large mass of white light appeared there. Mu Chenxiang anxiously pulled Chen Shang, and flew into the ball of white light in the air. Now Chen Shang understood, that place was actually a hidden space. In that space, there was a house. Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang appeared within a yard, and in the yard, there was a tree covered with fiery red leaves. The leaves were not big, but they were densely packed together. That is the immortal fruit that I said I would give you. It's like a fire bird, but there are only 2. Mu Chenxiang pointed at the 2 fruits hanging on the tree that were strongly lit by fire, and looked like little phoenixes. That was a phoenix fruit, a medicinal ingredient used to refine pills for the holy level. Chen Shang had already guessed something. He suspected that this place was left behind by the Dan Emperor, but he was curious who obtained the heaven pellet from Mu Chenxiang. The heaven pellet was definitely not simple. If not, Mu Chenxiang would not be able to become a heavenly monarch in a few short years. The beast slain method is right there. It's a stone tablet. I didn't cultivate it because it doesn't suit me, so there are a lot of good techniques inside the heaven pellet. Mu Chenxiang said. Xiao Shang, do you know whose heavenly pill is that? Chen Shang saw the stone tablet that was engraved with many small ancient words. He immediately knew that it was one of the heaven-earth killing method. It's a woman's, not something left behind after death. It's because there are many cultivation methods and memories within, but no soul. Moreover, all the energy within has been erased from my consciousness. Mu Chenxiang said. When I first fused with it, it was so painful that I had to struggle to live, but I managed to hold on in the end. In order to leave this place, Dan Emperor did not even want his flesh. He had not kept his heavenly pellet, so if the pellet Mu Chenxiang had fused with was not his, then who could it belong to? Elder brother Shen, wait for me here. I will go and prepare something for you to eat. Mu Chenxiang had already ran to the tree and plucked the fiery red leaves. This beast slain method required him to fuse with it, so he stuck his palm on it and started to read the contents inside. He already had 3 types of heaven-earth killing method, and after obtaining this beast slain method, he was only missing the last bit to absorb the heaven-earth killing method. While reading the beast slain method inside the stone tablet, Chen Shang unknowingly entered a state where he no longer had contact with the outside world. Unknowingly 3 months had already passed and the beast slain method on top of the stone tablet had already entered his brain. The ancient characters on top of the stone tablet had all disappeared as well. When he opened his eyes and stood up, Mu Chenxiang ran over with a plate of food. But what Chen Shang cared about was not the barbecue on top, but the plate. It looked like a plate, but Chen Shang felt that it looked like something. He hastily stuffed all the roasted meat on the plate into his mouth, then carefully examined the plate. This is a lid, Long Shui said. Could it be the lid of the divine furnace? Chen Shang thought the same, as he quickly took out the plate. It suddenly flashed and became smaller, and then matched up to the divine furnace. Chen Shang suddenly swallowed the meat in his mouth, raised his head and laughed loudly. Right now, he could confirm that the Dan Emperor had once stayed here before. Otherwise, there would not be this lid here. What's this? Mu Chenxiang looked at the small cauldron in Chen Zhang's hands. Something that can be refined through alchemy or smithing. Back then, I took a huge risk just for this small cauldron. Chen Shang lamented. Elder brother Shen, you know how to refine pills? Mu Chenxiang asked in surprise. Of course I understand, I am very good at pill refining. Heaven Realm has hosted a pill refining competition before, and I was only able to win this small cauldron after getting first place in all 3 matches. Amazing, right? Chen Shang laughed proudly. Chapter 1394. The 9 clans were trapped in this forbidden area, the alchemists were pitifully few in number, and the sparse alchemists did not know how to refine high-level pellets, because the medicinal ingredients here were too scarce and they were unable to learn anything. In order to become a high-level alchemist, one needed to first obtain a plentiful amount of medicinal ingredients. In Mu Chenxiang's impression, those alchemists were all old grayish white-haired grandpas. He never thought that there would actually be such a young alchemist. Take down that fruit. You are an alchemist, so it should be very important to you. Mu Chenxiang said. If not for Mu Chenxiang, Chen Shang would not have so easily obtained the beast-slain method and the divine cauldron's lid, and now, Mu Chenxiang was even going to give him the phoenix fruit. Lil, Shang, I really don't know how I should thank you. You've helped me enormously, allowing me to obtain so many things. Chen Shang said as he looked at Mu Chenxiang. If you want to thank me, then get me a very powerful immortal sword. Although I have one, it's too rotten. Mu Chenxiang laughed. Of course Chen Shang had good immortal swords, it was just that she could not casually use them, because Chen Shang had snatched them away from her, and giving them to her would only bring her trouble. No problem. After we get out, I'll immediately bring you to get a celestial sword that you're satisfied with. Chen Shang took down the phoenix fruit and said, just this fruit alone is enough to exchange for many good immortal swords, so I must repay you with my own words, I definitely cannot thank you with an ordinary immortal sword. Then let's hurry and find that bastard and have him quickly take us out. Mu Chenxiang was already impatient to open this place, she wanted to go to the 9-heaven world that she had been yearning for so long. Chen Shang didn't have enough time right now, otherwise he would definitely use the creation divine liquid to make some high-level healing panacea for Mu Chenxiang to repay his gratitude. It was just that the holy level S and medicinal ingredients required a very, very large amount of creation divine liquid, and he wouldn't be able to get them out in a short period of time. Mu Chenxiang and Chen Shang left the small dimension and returned to the cave. Duan Ming had not come yet, so Chen Shang continued to cultivate using the colorful sacred core here. At the moment, he also had not gone to learn the beast-slain method, because he was worried that he would be interrupted during the crucial time to learn and comprehend it. Mu Chenxiang was a very cheerful woman, and quickly recovered from her sadness. There was still a lot of delicious food in her storage magic treasure, and Chen Shang got some spirit fruits from Long Shui to give him as snacks to eat. She was the same as Long Shui, she liked to eat very much, and there were a lot of times when her mouth was chewing. Chen Shang trained in the cave for more than 10 days and absorbed the colorful sacred core's energy. Although he had only used it 20 days, he could already feel that he had improved a lot. Duan Ming appeared in the cave. Upon seeing him, Mu Chenxiang immediately put away the roast meat on the plate, leaving behind only a small piece. Little girl, don't be so stingy. Duan Ming laughed and took the barbecue on the plate. If you want to eat, I can roast it for you, but you have to bring your own meat, you are so powerful, with just a few moves, you can kill a strong monster. I only have a little bit left, elder brother Shen said, there is no such high-level beast meat outside. Mu Chenxiang said. Duan Ming laughed. If you go outside, as long as there are spiritual crystal S, you can even eat dragon meat, let alone this high-level beast meat. It's not easy to get dragon meat now, even with spiritual crystal S. Chen Shang said. So it's like this, the number of dragons is becoming fewer and fewer. Only now did Duan Ming realize that the era back then was already over. However, there is still high-grade beast meat. Moreover, the dragon meat is not tasty and sour, so I might as well use it for concocting pills. You have. Mu Chenxiang never thought that Chen Shang would have eaten dragon meat before. She had grown up in the sacred grounds, so she naturally knew that dragons were a very terrifying and powerful beast. Of course, I'll give you some bird meat after we leave this place, that is a very precious kind of bird meat. Chen Shang said. Can you let me have a taste as well? Senior, go and get it yourself. The imperial feather race is not dead yet. Chen Shang said. Duan Ming shook his head and sighed. He never thought that the current brat did not respect the elderly so much that he told him to do everything by himself. Let's go, we can leave this place now. I explained in advance that the passage out is not stable, but we can still get out. It's just that we will be attacked by the violent energy from within. Duan Ming walked out of the cave and spoke as he walked. Chen Shang held Mu Chenxiang's hand and said, don't be afraid, when the time comes I will put you into one of my storage magic treasure. I'm not afraid, Mu Chenxiang said fearlessly, I also want to go out with you. I'm not afraid of the pain. Be good and enter my storage magic treasure. He was worried that there would be an uncontrollable mutation in that passage that he and Duanming could not control. That was a spatial tunnel, and if they couldn't make it and entered some chaotic space, then that kind of torture could not be endured by just anyone. But Chen Shang was not afraid. He had the profound Wu diamond armor protecting his body, and his body was very strong. Can you let me in as well? Duanming teased from the side. Senior, who are you leading the way for? Chen Shang was extremely speechless. This Duanming didn't have the slightest bit of an appearance of a senior. Duanming brought Chen Shang and the others to the edge of the barrier. There was a very short stone mountain here, and it was filled with spirit grains. You just made these? Chen Shang asked in surprise. There is already an exit here, but if we want to open it, we need a formation like this to open it. Duanming said as he walked to the side of the stone mountain. He placed his palm on a flat spot and poured in a dense amount of energy. Senior, how many times have you endured the scattered immortal tribulation? Chen Shang asked curiously. His previous estimate was more than 30 times. 43 times, and there are still 6 more times that I can escape from this calamity. I wonder if I will be able to survive the next scattered immortal. Duanming's face was filled with helplessness. Do you know the Dan Emperor? I heard that he also came in here and hasn't left since. Chen Shang asked again. He felt that this Duanming should be a character that came from the same era as the Dan Emperor. I know him, but he doesn't know me. He's a very powerful person, but he can't leave this place because he doesn't know the method. Duanming said as he injected energy into the array to activate it. But I saw a pair of jade bones in the forest outside. I suspect that it was his. He must be pretty powerful to be able to reach that forest. Chen Shang said. Chapter 1395. Hearing the jade bone, Duanming was shocked. I wonder if that jade bone belongs to the Dan Emperor. Other than him, very few humans have managed to produce a holy bone. As expected of the Dan Emperor, it was actually able to break through the divine seals set up by the Great Emperor and the others. Duanming had a face full of regret. If he can walk out, then he might be a true Great Emperor after the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Mu Chenxiang listened attentively as he listened to Chen Shang and the others talk about those important people. Although his body did not leave the body, his soul might have left the body. It's impossible for a person like him to die that easily. I personally buried that pair of sacred bones without any damage, and it was perfectly preserved. I think he gave up on the sacred bones on his own, using his super strong soul to leave this forbidden place. Chen Shang said. Hee, then doesn't this mean that he's the same as me and will have to change his cultivation to scattered immortal in the future? If he doesn't, then he will have to start from the beginning. I wonder how he is now. Duanming laughed. Senior Duan, you call 10 Heavens Supreme Lord the Great Emperor and whether or not you are his subordinate. I know a Tongtian aristocratic family who has the surname Duan, but he received a curse that caused many people to wither over the years. Chen Zhang's heart was moved, and he anxiously asked. I don't have the qualifications to be a subordinate of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, and the Duan clan that you speak of is my Duan clan. However, I am just a small servant of the Duan clan, and only grew up because of the Duan clan's guidance did I follow them into the sacred beast's ancient realm, met those damned devil bats, and mistakenly entered the forbidden grounds. I even met a guy who wanted to steal the treasures of the sacred grounds here. Mu Chenxiang said in a low voice. I don't believe you. If you were a little servant, you would know this way of getting out. Even though I don't understand any restrictions, I do know that since you made so many spirit grain, you must have studied them for many years and obtained this kind of inheritance. Chen Shang thought so too. Fine, I admit that I got a lot of importance in the Duan clan. That year, the Duan clan's patriarch treated me as his family, so I also got some inheritance and our Duan clan was also involved in setting up this restriction. Afterwards, a catastrophe happened and we were forced to hide in this place to protect our lives. Duanming's expression was somewhat sorrowful. Out of all the family members that had accompanied him back then, he was the only one left alive. Chen Shang still felt that this Duanming was not simple, because he had already passed through 43 scattered immortal tribulations. At the moment, his strength could be considered at the top of the 9 heavens, even the Dragon Emperor would not dare to speak loudly in front of him. Senior, you must know how the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord fell, right? Even until now, the 5 of them have only been able to understand the details of the great battle that happened in DTN. Chen Shang said. I'm not too sure either. At that time, I was still just a small fry and could only escape. At that time, the Emperor gave us a death order to hide and not get involved, but before that, the Emperor also predicted that he would die. It was Duan Ming's turn to be curious. How do you know so much? Didn't I say it before? I know the descendants of your Duan clan, and what they told me is that their relationship with me isn't bad. Moreover, they teamed up to deal with those traitorous aristocratic families and sage realm experts. Chen Shang said. Pretty good, but I still think you're not that simple. Duan Ming laughed. My elder brother Shen is famous outside. If you don't believe me, go out and ask around. Mu Chenxiang anxiously said. This was what Chen Shang had told her before. Oh, I'll find out when I get out. Duan Ming now felt that Chen Shang was not simple, especially when he wanted to see through Chen Zhang's dantian. He only felt that Chen Zhang's dantian was extremely blurry, as if he did not have a dantian. Furthermore, Chen Shang knew a lot of secrets, such as that Dan Emperor. If not for Chen Shang mentioning it, he would have almost forgotten about it. How much longer? Mu Chenxiang asked. Soon, about 2 or 3 days. Duan Ming's words made Mu Chenxiang have the urge to vomit blood, and it could even be called fast in 2 or 3 days. Of course she wouldn't understand the concept of time that an old monster like Duan Ming, who had lived for hundreds of thousands of years, had towards. Mu Chenxiang was in a hurry to leave this place. Forget about 2 or 3 days, she felt like it would take at least 4 to 6 hours. Several hours had passed, and it was already night. At this time, the stone mountain full of spirit grain suddenly flickered with a red light, and the spirit grain on top had already begun to be activated. However, they did not have enough strength. It wasn't until the middle of the night that the small mountain finally showed some movement. Suddenly, a beam of light shot out from the peak of the mountain, piercing high into the sky. I am already starting to open that exit, and will need some time to gather my strength. If I did not go through 43 scattered immortal tribulations, I'm afraid I would not be strong enough. Duan Ming was also excited. It's going to attract a lot of people over here. Mu Chenxiang said worriedly. What's there to be afraid of? Anyway, I won't let them near. Don't let too many people enter through that exit. Duan Ming said. In the middle of the night, there was a dazzling pillar of light that reached high into the sky. It was easy to find in this forbidden area. Right now, there were already quite a few people looking at the pillar of light. Some of the clan leaders also rushed over, thinking that a treasure had appeared. He really did attract a lot of people. Fortunately, this guy is here. Long Shui said. Senior, someone is coming. Chen Shang pulled Mu Chenxiang closer to him. This would be safer. Don't worry, I won't let them get close. I will fight with whoever dares to spoil my plans. Duan Ming said with a serious face. Within the current 9 days, there weren't many people who could make Duan Ming risk his life. Even though the clan leaders who had rushed over were very strong, in the short term, Duan Ming should be even more powerful than him. It's that little girl. Mu Tianyu's things must be in her hands. When an old man saw Mu Chenxiang, his eyes burned with passion. What are they doing? Who is that guy? Could it be that she wants to leave this place with that outsider? Quickly stop them. Another old man cried out even though he also wanted to leave this place. It is you who have plotted against my great-grandfather. You bunch of bastards, I will personally slaughter all of you. Don't kill them, let them live until I kill you. Mu Chenxiang saw his enemies and shouted angrily. Stupid girl, a woman should marry obediently, and not fight and kill every day. Hand over that old bastard Mu Tianyu's things, the old man at the front shouted. Ha, who do you think you are? If you tell me to give it to you, I'll have to give it to you. Mu Chenxiang shouted in anger. I don't want to make a move. You'd better not come any closer. Duan Ming said. Humph, you want to leave this place? Stop dreaming. As the old man spoke, he let out an celestial sword and flew toward Wang Lin. Duan Ming frowned and bellowed. He spat out a powerful burst of energy that turned into a small tornado of purple lightning. The immortal sword was forcibly absorbed by the purple lightning tornado and shattered into pieces, causing the old man's face to turn green. Get the hell away from me. Duan Ming was furious. A purple lightning bolt surged out of his mouth like a gale as it pounced forward like a surging ocean wave. Even the patriarchs had to be cautious in dealing with it. They were shocked in their hearts, because they did not expect such a dangerous person to appear here, and just by using his mouth, he was able to push them back. If they had been serious, they would have died a long time ago. It's about to start. You should hide this wild girl. Although she can endure it, she should avoid the pain as much as possible. Duan Ming said to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang pulled Mu Chenxiang's hand, and Mu Chenxiang nodded at him, indicating that he could begin. In the blink of an eye, Mu Chenxiang had kept Mu Chenxiang inside the Yuyao ring and placed him in an elegant room. Although he was inside the palace, he was still far away from Long Shui and the others. Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu were one of Chen Zhang's greatest secrets, he had to keep them a secret. Seeing Duan Ming being so powerful, the people of the Nine Clan did not dare to go over, otherwise, the only outcome would be death. Let's go. Duan Ming jumped up and entered the white light beam, Chen Xiang following closely behind. They were standing within the beam of light. Duan Ming took a deep breath and released a very powerful force that poured into the mountain below. The beam of light became even brighter, illuminating half the sky. The power that surged out from Chen Xiang and Chen Zhang's bodies was pushed up into the sky by the perfectly straight pillar of light. The pillar of light disappeared, and Chen Xiang and Duan Ming also disappeared. At this moment, they were inside a pathway that was surrounded by a myriad of bright lights, filled with a tyrannical spatial energy, causing Chen Xiang to feel as if his body was being pulled by countless of energies and was being pressured from all directions. It was extremely uncomfortable. Young man, your body has already reached the initial stages of body of heavenly sage, right? Seeing that Chen Xiang acted as if nothing had happened, Duan Ming could not help but to ask in shock. Yes, Chen Xiang replied. This level of torture was nothing to him, it merely made him uncomfortable. To Duan Ming, this was nothing. His body was also releasing its power because he had already been tempered by the scattered immortal tribulation 43 times. Where will we be after we leave? Is it outside the forest? Chen Xiang asked. If it was in the past, I wouldn't dare to wander around the sacred beast's ancient realm. But now, there is nothing to be afraid of. What? With Duan Ming's words, Chen Xiang felt at ease. In just a few moments, Chen Xiang and Duan Ming left the spatial passageway and appeared on top of a wasteland. There should be a large number of night devils here, Chen Xiang said in a serious tone, but his heart was excited, because he had left the forbidden grounds. That's right, fortunately it was daytime. After Duan Ming finished speaking, he laughed. You can release that wild girl and let her see how the world outside is like. Chapter 1396. Not long after Mu Chenxiang left the ring, she was released by Chen Xiang. After exiting the ring, she looked around, and her face was immediately filled with disappointment. Chen Xiang saw her expression and laughed. This place is inside that night devil hell, that's why it is like this. Although it is a heaven realm, it is an extreme region within the heaven realm, you can just leave after. Duan Ming also laughed. Wild girl, with me here, you can easily leave without any danger. Mu Chenxiang wasn't too disappointed, it was just that when she came out, she saw and felt that the environment was different from what she imagined, which was why she was disappointed. Chen Xiang had told her many things about the heaven realm before, so she naturally would not think that the heaven realm was just like that. Even Duan Ming felt extremely uncomfortable as he said, how do we leave this night devil hell now? I've been sealed for a very long time, don't expect me to find the fastest path. Chen Xiang took out the directing celestial plate. Although there were no night devil hell recorded on it, one could still see the nearest immortal palace from the direction. Looks like it's quite far. The place where it should be deep inside the night devil hell. I heard that the night devil inside are all very powerful, Chen Xiang said as he took out the map. After unfolding the map, he quickly found the location of this wasteland. He did not expect that this wasteland had existed for a long time. This map should belong to the Dan Emperor. I never thought that I would still be able to see it after so long. Duan Ming immediately pointed out their location. Seeing that location, Chen Xiang frowned, because this location was very close to the target point of the Phoenix Princess's map. Elder brother Shen, what's wrong? Is this place very dangerous? Seeing that Chen Zhang's face was so serious, Mu Chenxiang immediately asked. Senior Duan, do you have any impression of this place? According to what I know, the Imperial Dragon Clan and the big shots of the traders have a portion of the map in their hands. Chen Xiang felt that Duan Ming should know something, but the matter was too far away and he needed to be reminded of something before he could remember. This place should still be considered Sacred Beast's ancient realm. After so long, this place is still so desolate. Could it be that there is something powerful hidden here that devoured a large amount of life essence? Mu Chenxiang looked around and felt the evil aura, which made her feel very uncomfortable. This place is dangerous. Duan Ming seemed to have remembered something. hurry up and leave, I remember now. After pondering for a moment, Duan Ming suddenly walked quickly in a certain direction. What did he think of? What exactly is this place? Chen Xiang and Mu Chenxiang anxiously followed. Mu Chenxiang was also very curious. Didn't the Dragon Emperor's map point towards here? Didn't they say that there were treasures or something similar? Duan Ming looked serious. Previously, he had said that he could bring them safely away from this place, but now, from the looks of it, it seemed that Chen Xiang and Mu Chenxiang were not that reliable. There is a passageway to hell below here, but there are quite a few treasures there. Back then, a great battle broke out here, and that passageway was created by the aftermath of that great battle. Furthermore, it is very difficult to seal it off. Duan Ming said. There really is a hell. Chen Xiang and the others had never been able to figure out where those night devil came from, but now, Duan Ming had already told them the answer. There really is one. It is said that those who commit heinous acts will have their souls sucked into hell after they die. It is possible that those bad demons were evolved from those souls. Duan Ming said. Chen Xiang thought back to the place he had passed when he entered the Forbidden Grounds. There, he had seen the lair of the night devil. This was all caused by the connection between this place and the infernal realm. During the Great War, saint beasts died there as well. There were even more human experts, and the things they left behind were like precious treasures to some people now. However, it's not easy to take them out. Duan Ming replied, at least I don't dare to. I heard that there are quite a few hell demons guarding that place. Those guys are very strong, and even if they don't want those things, they wouldn't let anyone else have them. Senior Duan, that gates of hell is under our feet. Mu Chenxiang asked. It's more or less at the bottom of this wasteland. Although there won't be any demons that will escape from the infernal realm, many evil souls from the infernal realm have managed to escape. When the gates of hell opened, there were a lot of them. Duan Ming quickened his pace. At that moment, he could already see the blurry figures of some gigantic mountains in the distance. We have to leave this place before nightfall. Although we won't die by then, it will definitely be very troublesome. Duan Ming said. The time in here is controlled by the night devil, so the time during the day is very short. So it was controlled by the night devil. I thought it was someone else who did it. How could the night devil have that kind of power? Chen Xiang had always thought that humans would be involved in the night devil. They have people helping them, but I don't know who they are. Before Ten Heaven's Supreme Lord died, these night devil were already very powerful, and some people even passed down formations to them. This place is close to the gates of hell, so all the night devil here are the strongest kind. As Duan Ming thought of this, he hurriedly grabbed onto Chen Xiang and Mu Chenxiang, and then ran out of this wasteland as fast as he could. The memories in Duan Ming's mind regarding this place started to awaken bit by bit. The clearer the memories, the more nervous he became. It's getting dark, Duan Ming said in a deep voice. If the group of people from the Imperial Dragon clan saw the situation outside the wasteland, they definitely would not have come in. No matter who it is, after seeing the powerful night devil, even if there are treasures inside, they would not risk entering, not to mention the treasures that are deep within the wasteland. At the gates of hell, Chen Xiang did not dare to do so either, but it was just that he did not dare to do so now, because his strength was still very weak. Xiao Xiang, do you want to go in and hide? Chen Xiang asked for Mu Chenxiang's opinion. He felt that it would be better if Mu Chenxiang entered the ring. Let's see what happens first. If it doesn't work out, then I'll go in. Mu Chenxiang had just left the Forbidden Grounds. She wanted to see how the outside world looked like. Even if it was this kind of night devil hell, she wanted to see how terrifying it was. Night suddenly descended, and in an instant, it had changed from day to night. At this time, Duan Ming brought Chen Xiang and the others and left the wasteland, entering a green forest. Chapter 1397. Chen Xiang had already gotten used to it before, but it was the first time she heard such ghostly wails and wolf howls coming from all directions. After she heard it, her eyebrows immediately knitted together. Senior Duan, isn't a powerful night devil supposed to appear during the daytime? When I came in earlier, I saw a night devil and a black tortoise fighting in the daytime. Chen Xiang asked. If this place wasn't too dangerous, he would have definitely gone to the Bai Shan Yu to tell him some of the situation inside. That's right, the powerful night devil are no longer afraid of the sun, but the truly powerful night devils are all by the side of the gates of hell. If they want to be strong, they have to devour a large number of dead souls, and a large number of them will leak out from the gates of hell at every moment. They absorb the souls of the dead during the day, and at night, they come out to absorb the power of the supreme yin from the moon. Duan Ming said. Maybe this place has the Night Demon Emperor. Even if the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord is alive, it would be difficult to eliminate him. In the dark night, this kind of person is very strong. Duan Ming's words gave Chen Shang a big shock. He thought that the Night Devil's strongest possibility would be at the same level as the Bai Shan Yu, but he never thought that it would be an emperor-level existence. Every night, the Night Devil hell would be so noisy. Mu Chenxiang had heard it from Chen Shang before, and now she was gradually getting used to that kind of noise. It was just that she felt it was annoying. Duan Ming had a very strong ability to conceal his presence. After all, he was a member of the Duan clan, and it wasn't just him who was concealing his presence. He could also help Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang hide their presence, so that the Night Devil wouldn't sense him. After they had advanced for more than 2 hours in the forest, they suddenly heard a sharp shout that sounded extremely terrifying, and the surrounding Night Devil also quietened down. Quick, look at the sky. Long Shui shouted. Chen Shang and the others were in the forest, the night sky was blocked by dense branches and leaves, and Duan Ming also seemed to have discovered something was going on in the night sky. Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang couldn't help but exclaim when they saw the scene in the air. The full moon in the sky was emitting a thick silver light, and that light was being devoured by something underground. Something was actually devouring the moon's essence at a terrifying speed. It's that group of hell's old devils. Only when we get closer will we be able to see this, so there should be a lot of Night Devil Kings nearby. These Night Devil Kings can absorb some of the energy emitted by them, so let's hurry up and leave this place. With Duan Ming leading the way, Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang were not attacked by the Night Devil, as he had the ability to prevent them from approaching. Duan Ming brought Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang and hurried on their journey through the night. It wasn't until dawn broke and the sounds and Night Devil disappeared that they slowed down their footsteps. As long as I don't get too close to those Hell Night Devil heads, there's nothing to be afraid of. I didn't expect to come out from the forbidden area and land on top of the gates of hell. It's so dangerous. Duan Ming did not finish his words. Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang also had lingering fears in their hearts. Senior Duan, after we leave the Night Devil hell, what plans do you have? Chen Shang asked. Let's go to some of the old places. Maybe some of my old friends left some important messages behind. Duan Ming sighed. He had lived for a long time, but he did not know about his friends. It was already dawn, but it would only take 4 hours. During this period of time, they would not hear those annoying Night Devil shouts, so Mu Chenxiang was in a good mood. Although the place was filled with evil auras that Night Devil had participated in, she still felt that the scenery here was not bad, especially the vast and endless sea and mountains. It made her feel shocked. There are people here, and there are a lot of them. They might be the Imperial Dragon Clan and the rest. Duan Ming suddenly sensed that someone was coming over. It's the Imperial Dragon Clan and the rest. They seem to have just arrived here, and are much slower than you. The divine soul that she had released was constantly roaming around her surroundings. As long as any powerful beings approached, she would immediately notify Chen Shang. Do you want to meet with them? Chen Shang asked. Even if you didn't want to, they would have come anyway. They've already discovered us, Duan Ming said. I never thought that they would be able to discover us. Looks like one of them is a guy that can sense the presence of people around us. That Phoenix Princess is also here. I never thought that he would actually be together with them. Previously, they wanted to eliminate that Phoenix Princess. Long Shui found it hard to understand. Phoenix Princess had already met with Phoenix King and should have already told this to her father. But Imperial Feather Race was still with Imperial Dragon Clan and the others. Chen Shang, it's indeed you. I didn't expect you to be here as well. Dragon Emperor and the others suddenly appeared, and all the surrounding trees were destroyed, exposing Chen Shang and the others to the blazing sun. Moreover, they were surrounded by a large group of people. When Chen Shang saw Phoenix Princess, he immediately used the sound transmission technique to ask, Shui Ying, what's going on? Why are you guys with this group of people? I told my royal father about this, but he doesn't plan to fall out with the Imperial Dragon Clan here, and I don't understand what he means. Phoenix Princess hurriedly replied, then asked, why are you here too? Who's the person beside you? Logically speaking, since we are walking at the very front, you shouldn't be able to come so fast. I'll tell you in the future, you better make sure that your Imperial Feather Race people don't do anything. Chen Shang warned. Don't worry, my royal father has promised me that he won't make a move against you. Right now, he will only watch from the side. The Phoenix Princess said. Mu Chenxiang looked at the people around her with a pair of curious eyes. Previously, Chen Shang had told her a story about the Imperial Dragon Clan and the Imperial Feather Race, and she quickly recognized that those were the Imperial Dragon Clan's people. When she saw the Phoenix Princess, she immediately recognized them as well, because Chen Shang had also told her about the Phoenix Princess's appearance. Duan Ming now believed Mu Chenxiang's words. Previously, Mu Chenxiang said that Chen Shang was very strong outside, and that he was a famous person. What does my presence here have anything to do with you? Does this night devil hell belong to your Imperial Dragon Clan? Chen Shang sneered. However, I am truly surprised that you all made it here alive. You guys aren't as weak as I imagined. This group of people had yet to go to the wasteland, they had only just arrived, but they were almost there. Chen Shang didn't want to remind them that they originally brought several 100,000 people, but now, they only had a few thousand left. Chen Shang, it's impossible for you to escape now. Obediently hand the thing over. He Feng said angrily. Chen Shang had snatched away his immortal sword twice, and every time, he would cut off his arm. Chapter 1398. Devil Suppressing Divine Palace and Fire Divine Palace also regarded Chen Shang as their #1 enemy, because their immortal kings had all been killed by Chen Shang. There was even less of a need to talk about the Dragon Emperor. Because Chen Shang had cut off his arms, his two most outstanding sons were killed by Chen Shang, and most importantly, Chen Shang was with a white dragon. To the Imperial Dragon Clan, the white dragon was equivalent to a seed that could exterminate their entire clan. Let me do it. You guys watch over him and don't let him escape. After we capture him, we can discuss how to deal with him. At the same time, the Immortal King of Imperial Dragon Clan and the Imperial Dragon Clan were also on guard. Those traitors were also on alert, but the people of Imperial Feather Race had no intention of interfering, and retreated to the side to watch. The moment Dragon Emperor took a step forward, Duan Ming frowned. The moment he released his aura, Dragon Emperor could not help but to retreat. The people around him also retreated, their faces filled with terror. Duan Ming did not look at the Dragon Emperor, but rather at those heavenly passing Immortal Country and Sage Realm Immortal Country. The ancestors of these powers had all betrayed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord at that time, and the cultivation techniques they were cultivating in now were all taught to them by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. You must be from the Feng clan. Duan Ming looked at a middle-aged man, his voice filled with killing intent. That's right, what do you want to do? The middle-aged man knew that Duan Ming was very strong, but he thought that they could take him down together. After all, he had never seen such a strong existence, so even if there was one, it wouldn't appear so easily. Then, in place of your ancestors, apologize to the emperor. Duan Ming's voice was ice-cold. When he swung out his palm, a bolt of purple lightning suddenly appeared. With a "pala" sound, it struck the body of the Feng clan Immortal King, immediately turning the middle-aged man into a bloody mist. With an Immortal King dead just like that, everyone present could not help but open their mouths wide in fear. Who are you? Seeing Duan Ming's strength, he knew that he would not be able to catch him. He once followed a small fry in the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Duan Ming glared at one of the Immortal Kings of Ziyu Immortal Country. He was the strongest Immortal King of Ziyu. Seeing his expression, the Immortal King Ziyu's heart chilled. He turned around and ran. He knew that this man was very powerful, even the Dragon Emperor would not be able to deal with him. Right at the moment he turned around, Duan Ming let out a cold snort, and shot out another purple lightning, turning it into a bloody mist. Another had been killed. Now, everyone knew that this person had once followed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. To be able to live from that time to now, no matter how weak he was still stronger than them. The fact that the ancestors of the Heavenly Master and Sage Realm Immortal Country had betrayed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord had been spread out in the next 9 days. It was not a secret, but it was also a very normal thing for them to be retaliated against the loyal subordinates of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Duan Ming hated these traitors to the bone. When he heard Chen Shang mention them, he did not feel anything, but when he met them in person, he felt an indescribable rage, especially when he saw that the descendants of these traitors were still learning the skills 10 Heavens Supreme Lord had painstakingly created for them. The descendants of this group of ungrateful traitors caused Duan Ming's murderous intent to rise. Dragon Emperor did not stop him either. He only glared at Chen Shang, because he knew that Chen Shang had escaped another calamity. Senior Duan, something is coming. Chen Shang said in a deep voice. His voice was heavy. After Chen Shang finished speaking, Duan Ming took action again, releasing his berserk purple thunder power, killing one of the immortal kings of White Sea Immortal country. When he killed the third person, the other traitors all fled. No one wanted to die. Long Shui kept urging Chen Shang to tell him that there was a strong aura approaching. It's the Night Devil. Duan Chong looked into the distance. The Night Devil that appeared during the day was a very powerful being. As the Night Devil drew closer, Chen Shang and the others could also clearly feel the oppressive evil aura that emanated from him. Run, it's not just one, it's a group. Duan Ming grabbed onto Chen Shang and Mu Chenxiang. Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to the Phoenix Princess, quickly let your father carry you and flee. It would be best if he followed us. This made Dragon Emperor and the rest startled, they did not expect that the powerful Duan Ming would suddenly escape. At this time, the Phoenix King had already brought along the Phoenix Princess and their companions to follow behind Duan Ming, using their fastest speed to escape from this place. Let's go as well. Although the Dragon Emperor did not know what was coming, something that Duan Ming was unable to deal with must definitely be very powerful. I can deal with even a group of people, but you guys can do it, so it's better to just hide. This place is close to the gates of hell, so it's not strange for there to be a group of people like this. Duan Ming said. He's catching up. Long Shui shouted in shock. Chen Shang turned his head and saw that there were indeed dozens of things that looked like humans. It was just that they had a pair of gigantic wings on their backs, the kind of wings that looked like a bat's. This fellow evolved from the souls of the dead. He's already like a human. Duan Ming explained. So you're saying that they are equivalent to reincarnated? They are in the same state as you, scattered immortal? Chen Shang asked. No, they do not have the scattered immortal calamity, and their spirits are incomplete, so their memories are very complicated. But since they have evolved so close to each other, they have already gained an extremely high level of intelligence. A large group of people followed behind Duan Ming. Only a small part of the large powers followed along, and those traitors left. Back then, Chen Shang had seen this kind of bat demon fight with a human-shaped black tortoise in the daytime. It was extremely powerful, and if it was attacked by a group of humans, both he and Mu Chenxiang would be in danger. Duan Ming remembered the road here. They had all taken safe routes and very quickly, they entered a crevice in the ground. This road was one that Dragon Emperor had walked on. It took them 3 days to get out of the crevice and reach a large river. Haha, the great river suddenly began to churn, the sky reverberating with ferocious and sharp laughter. Don't even think about escaping. A few black figures suddenly came out from the river and surrounded Duan Ming and the others. In that moment, Chen Shang put Mu Chenxiang into the ring. Bat devils, it wasn't easy for you to grow to this level. You don't want to die just like that, right? Duan Ming looked at the 5 powerful night devils standing around him. Their bat wings could be stored inside their bodies, but they were currently wearing a set of black furry clothes. It was unintentional for them to be thrown into the sea of people, making it difficult to tell that they were Night Devil. Chapter 1399. Duan Ming used the thunder power, which even the evil demons were afraid of. At this moment, the top of Duan Ming's tightly clenched fists were flashing with purple electric threads. The berserk thunder power made people feel that he was like the mother of lightning, able to release extremely terrifying lightning. These powerful Night Devil who had caught up only surrounded Duan Ming, because Duan Ming was the strongest. Now that they had surrounded Duan Ming, they regretted it a little, because Duan Ming's strength was much stronger than they had imagined. Dragon Emperor and the rest had already returned along the same path, and disappeared from Chen Zhang's sight, causing Chen Shang to feel extremely unhappy. He really hoped that group of people would all die. Are you going to approach our territory? A strong Night Devil suddenly said. His voice was gentle, but his tone was gentle, as though he did not want to fight with Duan Ming. None of them were stupid. If they were to fight with Duan Ming here, they would be the ones to die. No, we were just about to leave. Can't you see that we are escaping? He was afraid of trouble. If he killed these few strong Night Devil, maybe those Hell Night Devil outside the gates of hell would come out. The consequences would be unimaginable. Then what are you doing here? Isn't your purpose not to enter our territory? Their territory was equivalent to their own sacred grounds. If anyone approached them, no matter what price they had to pay, they would have to stop them. We came out from another place. We really did land in your territory, but it was only us. That group of people that ran away were not us. They had a map, and they came in accordance to that map. Duan Ming told the truth to the Night Devil S. Don't tell me you came from the forbidden area. After the night devil finished speaking, he anxiously took a few steps back, as though he was facing a great enemy. You know the forbidden area? Duan Ming asked curiously. That place has caused the deaths of many of our most outstanding companions. How could we not know about it? The night devil had a stern expression. All the people that could come out of the forbidden grounds were powerful, so they were even more afraid of Duan Ming. Duan Ming laughed. Now you can let us go. I do not want to become enemies with you guys. We have stayed in the forbidden grounds for too long. I just want to leave quickly. One more thing. I hope you can answer me. The night devil said. Ask. If I can answer, I will. Duan Ming said, as 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord's tomb inside. Even Chen Shang was curious about that night devil question, because that Samsara Valley was too powerful. With Duan Ming's current strength, he wouldn't be able to enter. Duan Ming frowned and sighed. I don't know either. I once suspected that it was the Samsara Valley in the Forbidden Grounds, but I can't confirm. That year, the great emperor calculated that he would die, and so he prepared everything long ago. At that time, I was still too weak, so I was unable to find out the core secrets. You may leave. When the night devil heard that Duan Chong was a person who survived that period of time, he did not dare to stop them for too long and immediately let them go. These night devils' duty was to guard this place, but they usually stayed deep underground. It was because when Duan Ming killed the big heads from the traitorous powers, those big heads, death caused a huge amount of resentment, which then alarmed these night devils. The 4 night devils had called the other strong night devil back. They could not leave this place. They only wanted to ensure that the strong humans did not approach. She didn't expect that everything would be fine so quickly after Mu Chenxiang came out of the ring. They didn't dare to provoke me, so they let me go. It looks like these night devil are afraid of death. Duan Ming laughed. Duan Ming and the others quickly caught up to the people in front of them. They were just the Imperial Feather race, but when they saw that Duan Ming was not stopped by the night devil, they used a secret technique to escape, afraid that Chen Shang would order Duan Ming to attack them. Are you guys okay? The Phoenix Princess asked. It's fine for now, but I have to leave this place as soon as possible. The strongest night devil in here is very scary. Chen Shang replied. Seeing Chen Shang and Phoenix Princess talking like this, he knew that they knew each other, and that they were more familiar with each other. Thank you. If not for Chen Shang and the others, they would not have had much luck. You're welcome, Duan Ming said. It's rare for your Imperial Feather race to have 2 phoenixes, to both die here at once, which is a loss to Juju. Although you guys have the ability to rebirth, it's not feasible to live in that place, unless you guys are very strong. That place was a gates of hell, and the night devil there were all experts in the power of death. The 2 phoenixes of the current Imperial Feather race were so young, those night devils could prevent them from rebirth and exterminate them immediately. The Phoenix King was silent. After thinking for a moment, he turned into a huge phoenix and used a few escape techniques to escape, taking his group of Imperial Feather race comrades with him. Their ancestors were trying to harm them by making them come to this place to die. If the Night Demon Emperor was really born there, perhaps he wouldn't even dare to act rashly in Great Yanjing for 10 days. Duan Ming shook his head and laughed. That fellow from the Imperial Dragon clan actually called himself the Dragon Emperor. Truly shameless, the real Dragon Emperor had once defeated the 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord. This was the first time Chen Shang had heard of this. Really, why is the Dragon Emperor not as famous as the 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord? Chen Shang asked anxiously. That Dragon Emperor is more stupid. After being poisoned by their own sinister dragon, the Dragon Emperor bloodline was massacred. Duan Ming said. Your whole family is idiots. Long Shui scolded from inside the ring. Chen Shang had already guessed that the Dragon Emperor should be the ancestor of the White Dragon clan, which was why the current Long Shui hated the current Imperial Dragon clan so much. The current Imperial Dragon clan was equally afraid of Long Shui's revenge, and they were well aware of the White Dragon's potential, which was precisely because the White Dragon had extremely terrifying potential and innate strength. It only took more than 10 days to get out of Night Devil Hell. On the way, they actually saw that Silver White Mountain, which was the devil-killing summit. Chapter 1400. Chen Shang had asked Duan Ming before, but he did not know anything about the devil-killing summit. This Immortal Palace was very close to the Night Devil Hell. The group of powers that entered the Night Devil Hell earlier all returned with heavy casualties, especially those Heavenly Master Immortal Country S and Sage Realm Immortal Country S. There were actually no survivors, and Chen Shang had also entered the Night Devil Hell. After Mu Chenxiang entered the Immortal Palace, she felt a sense of novelty when she saw the outside world, who had changed his appearance, was currently shopping with her, and in order to not attract attention, Chen Shang asked Mu Chenxiang to cover his face with his veil, because even the powers in Imperial Dragon Clan and the others had seen him together with Mu Chenxiang. Chen Shang knew that Mu Chenxiang liked to eat, so he brought her to a street that was filled with food shops on both sides. He ate from the end of the street to the end of the street, and then he ate again when he was back, which made Mu Chenxiang very satisfied. After Duan Ming came to the Immortal Palace, he asked Chen Shang for 2 million spiritual crystal as the teleportation fee, and then left. Before leaving, Chen Shang had ordered a set of communication scrolls with him, which he could leave behind in some conspicuous places in the large Immortal Palaces for communication purposes. Elder brother Shen, do you have a lot of spiritual crystal? They left really quickly. In the past few days, Mu Chenxiang had bought a lot of things, wore the most, and ate the most. Furthermore, they were all very expensive. We'll earn it after we go there. I'm from Alchemist, so I can just patiently refine a few pills, but I need to save some teleportation fees. It's easy to earn spiritual crystal only by going to those great Immortal Palaces. Chen Shang said. Mu Chenxiang allowed him to obtain the phoenix fruit, the divine cauldron's lid and the ground killing, so no matter how many spiritual crystal he spent on her, he wouldn't feel heartache. The strange new feeling of eating, drinking, and playing had already started to fade in these few days. Now, she also planned for her own life, and she didn't want to always cling on to Chen Shang, especially since she knew that Chen Shang was a big name in the heaven realm. She gradually began to understand that if she followed Chen Shang, she would only implicate him. I want to go to the Hundreds of Flowers Immortal Country to take a look. I wish to join a force in order to earn my own spiritual crystal. I also wish to have a good place to stay. Mu Chenxiang said. At this time, they were enjoying a sumptuous meal in the hotel room. Alright, but before you go to Hundreds of Flowers Immortal Country, I need to help you get a good immortal sword. I promised you that I would. Chen Shang smiled as he looked at Mu Chenxiang, who was currently devouring his food. Previously, Mu Chenxiang thought that it would be easy to obtain high-quality immortal swords in the heaven realm, but after coming here, she had the concept of spiritual crystal, so she knew that those high-quality immortal swords were extremely precious. This was because when Chen Shang brought her to a few weapons shops, those average immortal swords were all sold very expensive. There shouldn't be many spiritual crystal left, asked softly. Previously, she didn't know that spiritual crystal were hard to earn, so she spent it like flowing water, but now, she had a certain concept, and knew that over the past few days, she had used a lot of spiritual crystal, especially in food. Hearing that Mu Chenxiang was going to leave, Long Shuiyi was a little reluctant, because she had eaten very well these few days. You don't have to worry about that. Chen Shang did not have many spiritual crystal now, but he was not worried either. He had already thought of a way to prepare the spiritual crystal. Then what immortal palace are we going to next? Mu Chenxiang asked. To the Human King Immortal Country, my wife is there. Furthermore, she is a refiner and wants to buy immortal swords or something like that. Of course we have to find someone who knows where to find them. She should have her own skills. Chen Shang laughed. Didn't you say that you really want to see my wife? Really, aren't you afraid that she'll be jealous? Mu Chenxiang mischievously smiled. Not afraid. Chen Shang was very confident, because Shui Shenxian had a good temper and was very open-minded. Furthermore, he and Mu Chenxiang did not have that kind of relationship, but their relationship was very good, like a good friend and good brother. Oh yeah, I heard that you have a little sister, and she's a white-haired beauty. Is she in Human King Immortal Country as well? This was what Mu Chenxiang had heard from others when they were talking about Chen Shang. She's my recognized sister, she's not in the Human King Immortal Country right now. Previously, he had let Long Huishan borrow Lang Yulin's sword because he was worried that the Imperial Dragon Clan would find out that Lang Yulin had white dragon vein. Recognized sister, can I also be your recognized sister? Mu Chenxiang's beautiful eyes flashed, and asked anxiously. Seeing Chen Shang hesitating, Mu Chenxiang hurriedly said in a spoiled manner, Elder brother Shen, I've already called you big brother, besides, I don't have any relatives right now. Quote. You wild girl, I have 3 little sisters now, it would be too boring if you were to become my recognized sister again. Chen Shang laughed. Mu Chenxiang chuckled, being your recognized sister can also be your wife, so it turns out that you had no good intentions in accepting recognized sister. Quote. Stupid girl, don't let your thoughts run wild. Chen Shang glared at her, and said, you've already called me big brother, how can I not recognize you as my little sister? When the time comes, I'll bring you sisters together. Mu Chenxiang also knew that Chen Shang would not reject her, and she was also very happy at this moment. Brother, other than sister Yulan, who else? No one else seems to know. My other two younger sisters are all very gentle. One of them is called Dongfang Jing, and is currently with her aunt, I don't know where she is now, and the other is called Shen Lingling, currently she should be at the Dragon Immortal Palace with Yulan. Oh right, the female dragon king of the Long family is my big sister. If you have any difficulties in the future, you can go and find her. Definitely, Mu Chenxiang laughed. She would definitely return if she had anything to eat, not to mention that there were 3 sisters who he had never seen before. You have to give me some of the keepsake, or else if they don't believe me, I might meet them in the future. Mu Chenxiang said. Chen Shang took out a jade tablet, and placed his own mental imprint on it. If they don't believe me, I can just let them see. Brother, and that crazy master of yours, I've also heard others mention him before, I heard he's very powerful. Mu Chenxiang asked curiously. If you can find him, then tell him that you are my recognized sister and eat him ruthlessly. My cooking skills are taught by him, and he always carries a lot of precious beast meat with him, all of which are very rare, so dragon meat is nothing to worry about. Chen Shang laughed. Subsequently, Chen Shang told Mu Chenxiang about the special characteristics of the sword when he was in hiding in detail. Chen Shang was worried that Mu Chenxiang would clash with some of his friends and acquaintances in the future, so he told her about it to some of the people he knew so that she wouldn't cross the line with them. After all, the title of Mu Chenxiang as a wild girl wasn't for nothing.